Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is the watch-along for Brighton versus Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. But it is all so much more than that. It is so much more than that because, as we know, there is so much transfer news going on at the moment. And I'm not going to lie about that. We are in that situation tonight where we will be talking about transfers quite a lot as well. So very much welcome to everybody tonight. I hope you're doing very well. And let's get on with the show. Team news. I don't think the team news is out yet, but we will get into that. Just a little bit of stuff going on from when I was live, which felt like 5 minutes ago. That Fredrik Vildvet, who is a very good Norwegian journalist, has come out and said that Jadon Sancho, his illness basically is a ploy to try and force a move from Manchester United. I've got to say that I've heard, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I did the show last night and I said that I had not heard it from anybody, but my feeling was that Jadon Sancho absence from Dortmund's squad tonight is about forcing a move. The interesting thing is I said that last night and I've had numerous people, 5 or 6 people, of which 4 of them I would count as credible, have all said to me that Jadon Sancho isn't ill, he's forcing a move out of Dortmund. So, look, it doesn't mean he'll get the move. Look, 90% club and all that lot, but just because you force a move and put a transfer request in or whatever, doesn't mean that will definitely happen. So, I'm not saying that by any means that just because he is forcing a move, and he is forcing a move by the sounds of it, that means that he will get that move. But it certainly gives Manchester United more to go on. I mean, look, I think Jadon Sancho is probably at this point thinking, you know what, I'm getting a little bit worried about the incompetence of this board. Don't worry, Jadon, we've been worried about it for many years. And I think that maybe that is something that is bothering him a little bit at the moment. So let's just see what happens with it, really. I think it is an interesting one, and it's one to keep an eye on, of course, whilst we're live. Bid of 120 million gone in, apparently, says James Pearce. And Mark, Newcastle are reportedly in for pink boots. I would honestly get my part Pearce to celebrate if Jones goes, says Mike. It'd be nice to get rid of Phil Jones, wouldn't it, in the nicest possible way. Hi, Mark. How true is it that Newcastle have asked about Smalling and Jones, says Mafus. I mean, it's not Christmas, is it? It's not Christmas, so let's see. Kickoff is in about an hour's time, so we should have the team news coming in very quickly. But it's been a weird old day. I mean, just sticking with Sancho for a moment, it's been a very weird day because we've had Chiesa has apparently now been linked to United and a loan move. Now, Chiesa is a winger that we have looked at in the past, but it just seems to be a bit of a mess for Manchester United, doesn't it? And I hope that we can win tonight, because I think that the last thing we need tonight is negativity around the football club. But I'm expecting a bit of that. Of course. We had that after the weekend game. So let's see what the team is. I think it's going to be an interesting one tonight. Brighton are a Premier League side. They will play their reserves. And, so will we to a certain extent, but it's certainly going to be harder than the Luton game. Do you think McMayo has a future at Manchester United, says Like a Boss? Well, he clearly does, because he's signed a new contract, hasn't he? But, I've always been quite unsure about McTominay. I think sometimes he looks good and sometimes he flatters to deceive. So the thing I would always say about Scott McTominay is he getting in a Liverpool squad? Is he getting in a Man City squad? And the actually honest answer is no. And because of that, you've got to think, well, why we need to be playing with players as reliable as they do. So, the lineup will be in the next minute or so. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe if you are new, bottom right-hand corner. Hi, Mark. If I had to choose between a centre-back and Sancho, whom would you take, says Rohit? I mean, look, at this point, I just want Jadon Sancho. Sky Sports have sort of, they're here, there or everywhere, because they're saying that Manchester United are after Ousmane Dembele, but then they are looking at just looking at that goal that Newport scored. They're looking at Ousmane Dembele, but then they're looking at doing a bid for Sancho again as well. So it's here, there or everywhere for Manchester United at the moment. But I still remain very confident that it will be Jadon Sancho, and I think it would be a catastrophe if it wasn't Jadon Sancho, to be honest with you. I don't think as I've said many times before, I don't think that there actually is an alternative for United other than to go for Jadon Sancho. So we will see how that develops. Team news is going to be coming in. We'll be talking about that. But look, the reality is we've got 5 days to go in this transfer window. Of course, that is what people are focused on. Some very good updates from Fabrizio Romano today. As I said, there is a lot of people out there. I can't name them all because some of them don't want to be named and some of them, you know, are publicly there for you to find. But there is a lot of people saying today that Sancho is forcing a move, that basically he's told Dortmund he doesn't want to play for Dortmund and that he is trying to force this move to Manchester United to put a bit of pressure on Dortmund. But that will only happen, that pressure will only happen if he gets if Manchester United make the offer that they need to make. So the team news tonight is Henderson in goal. Dalot plays at right back. Williams at left back. Bailey and Lindelof. Fred, McTominay, Mata, Van der Beek, James and Ighalo. So that is... again, look, I think this is the wrong team from Solskjaer. Can I just say, I mean, the team on my left is obviously the wrong team now. But I think he's picked the wrong team here. I think he's gone way too weak again. I think that we've got a very important game on Saturday, and I think he's gone with the wrong team here. I think we're going to struggle again because I just don't think some of these players are actually good enough to play for Man United at this moment in time. So let me just change the team around so that we can get it in for you. So yeah, Pogba doesn't start, which I think many of us had hopes that he would because he needs the game time, but Pogba is on the bench. Fred will start. If I can just find Fred there. Sorry, no. Why does it keep moving the wrong bloody player? So Fred will play, McTominay will play, Van der Beek will play. Ighalo is playing and Anthony Martial is not on the bench. I mean, yeah, you know when you get linked to people like... when you get linked to people like Jovic, it really makes you realise how stunted for choice we are with no what's his name, with Ighalo. He's just not good enough in my opinion. So Juan Mata is playing as well. He plays off the right. He did all right last week. I'm actually surprised Dan James is starting, but in some ways, there's a couple of players playing here today that nearly could be out of the team completely in a couple of weeks' time. So, God, Wan-Bissaka's not playing either. He's playing Dalot. I don't know. I just don't know what Solskjaer's playing at a lot of the time with his team selections. I mean, this to me just feels like another missed opportunity with the lineup he's gone for. So Henderson, Bailey, Lindelof, Williams and Dalot as the back four. McTominay and Fred, Mata, Van der Beek, James and Ighalo. You know, I mean, Dalot's not been part of the team at all. And Fosu Mensah has been the one that he wants to use. And then an opportunity to give Fosu Mensah some game time. And it's Dalot's turn, and everyone will be like, "Oh, Dalot's part of the setup now." It's just, I mean, yeah. If Dalot is part of the setup now, how contradictory is that to not use him for loads of games and then to bring him into the team again? It's just, it's here, there, and everywhere all the bloody time, isn't it? I don't. The thing that irritates me is I just don't know what the plan is. It's very hard to back the plan when you don't know what the plan is. But that is the team on the left-hand side there. A lot of people will be quite happy with that, I think, because a lot of people, I know a lot of you really do like Dalot, so a lot of people are going to be happy with that. I'm just going to tweet out the team news as well. What are my thoughts on that team? I think it's too many changes. I mean, we'll have a look at how many Brighton changes have made, but I don't like that team. I find it pretty uninspiring. Apart from Donny van der Beek, I look at Brandon Williams. Well, we're trying to buy Tellez, so that's a waste of time at left back. I look at Dalot, and I think, well, you know, we're trying to get rid of him. I look at Lindelof and Bailly, and I think, well, look, Bailly and Henderson interest me. I look at that midfield, and I mean, I just don't rate Scott McTominay as a holding midfielder, so that doesn't fill me with great pleasure. I mean, Juan Mata on the right-hand side, I suppose you've got to play an ageing player when he's on that much money. I just think that, and it's only my opinion, I just think that we are wasting these opportunities. but I'll come to the live comments now and have a look at what you've all got to say. I'm just making sure I've got the right team up here, and also need to tell you what the substitutes are. I don't want to hear people saying, oh, he's picking this team to show that we need Sancho. He could easily have picked a better team. We've got a massive... I think the thing for me is that this was proved right last week. So let me make my point. My point is that last week he picked a very similar team to this week, and I said we should have gone with a stronger team because the first team is clearly not match sharp. So give them some match sharpness. Now Spurs are playing 3 games before they play us. They played Sunday, they played last night, they're playing Thursday. Their players might be a bit tired, but they'll be very, very match sharp. On the other hand, we will be undercooked. We were undercooked for the Brighton game, and we could have given first team players game time against Luton. And if we're undercooked against Spurs at the weekend, we could have given first team players plenty. It's only Wednesday night. We don't play till Sunday. Some first team players should be playing tonight. No first team players are playing tonight. Not one of those players, apart from one of the centre backs, will start on Sunday. So it's a wasted opportunity. Mario says, Mark, I hate when Ollie puts Juan Mata out of position. He's a number 10 and not a right winger. Makes no sense, says Mario. The only reason to pick this team must be because of hard training for the first team players. Yeah, but hard training, this is why I always moaned about Gomez and Chong not going on loan last year. Hard first team training isn't a competitive match. What are your thoughts with Van der Beek's agent speaking out about his playing time? I agree with his agent, but feels a little soon. Yeah, definitely, Ivan Barron. I think it's ill-advised. And the only reason to pick this team must be because of hard training for the first team players, says Per-Erik Klassen, which I've just read. Hi Mark, quick question off topic. If Liverpool had United's defence, would they win the league? P.S. I'm in the 90% club, says Michael Southcombe. No, they wouldn't. Dalot is in the lineup just to sell him this window, I guess. Glad James is on the left wing. Your thoughts on Timothy Fosu-Mensah as a CDM this season, says Callian. I mean, that's a fan theory, isn't it? It's a bit like release the Schneider cut. Everyone talks about Fosu-Mensah as a CDM, but I'm not sure it'll ever happen. Could Ollie be choosing these players to put them in the shop window, says Happy O? But that would be stupidity, surely. You know, he's under pressure. He needs to win games of football. Why risk losing a game of football on players that you're trying to sell? And also that, where you're going to get surely it's more important to get some fluidity in your team. United's bid for Telles was low, that Porto didn't even respond to it, let alone begin talks. Isn't this just way too embarrassing, says Baloo. And I'm sad one-way horse, just Liverpool win by 50 points gap. I was excited for the new season. Now I know who will win in the league. Hopefully Chelsea catch up, says Young King. I have a feeling it's going to be used more as a 4-2-2-2, says Joshua Bowwater. I don't dare watch tonight. I'm surprised Maguire's not been picked, says Lee Taylor. And this club is embarrassing, using Dalot simply to put him in the shop window while weak in our team in a game we must win. Glazers out, says Nicholas Halloran. It was so clear on Saturday that Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Pogba ain't match fit. They should be starting, and I'd play Martial as well to try and get a few goals for confidence, says Sean Turner. And Dalot done nothing since he's been here, but we paid 20 million for him. Another under par performance, and he's got to go. Maybe that's why he's in, says Gareth Carson. I mean, I've got to be honest. I just find the team very, very confusing tonight. On the bench, you've got Grant, Fosu-Mensah, Mengi, Lingard, Pogba, Greenwood, and Rashford. And it's always the same players on the bench, isn't it? Pogba, Greenwood, and Rashford always have to be on the bench. It's never Martial. Martial's never on the bloody bench, is he? It's always Greenwood and Rashford. I don't get it. You know, Rashford, to be honest with you, has come back from a bad injury. Just give him the bloody week off. Put Martial on the bench. It's always bloody Greenwood and Rashford, and I think it's just favouritism. I do. I don't look. I back Ollie. Everyone knows I back Ollie, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna tell you things that frustrate me about his team selections. I don't think that's the right team to pick tonight. I don't. On the Brighton team, let me just tell you this. And, you know, you go into a game feeling, you know, positive, and then you realise, bloody hell, this could go wrong tonight. So, I think that Brighton's team has got quite a lot of changes in it. But then again, there's a few players there that look like they started at the weekend. Dunk is playing. White, I think they both played at the weekend. But apart from that, there might be one or two others, but they've got Trossard on the bench, Maupay on the bench. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much their reserves as well, apart from a couple. So, you know, 50-50 really in relation to how both teams have gone into the game. But yeah, look, I've got to be honest, I'm not over the moon with that team. Same as Luton last week. I think the irritant for me is that we've got a very big game at the weekend, and the same thing happened with Luton. You know, football fans are saying you need to play some of your first team to get their confidence or their fitness levels up, and we've not done it. You know, there is no first teamer playing today apart from one of the centre backs. Brandon Williams at left back is a waste of time. It's just a filler. Delot at right back is a waste of time. It's just a filler. We're trying to sell him. McTominay at centre defensive midfielder. I've seen it all before. Van der Beek is exciting. Mata on the right wing has got about as much future as Zlatan. You know, he's on borrowed time, isn't he? There's no future with Mata. Dan James is interesting on the left wing. I'd like to see him doing well. Agallo up front. Look, he's gone in January no matter what he does, isn't he? He's just not good enough anyway. You know, I hope he scores some goals, but he isn't good enough. Henderson in goal is obviously exciting, but there's just not enough excitement in that lineup, and I would like to have seen some first-team players. I think Paul Pogba was dreadful at the weekend, as was Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and they're desperate for game time. So basically what you're saying is, I don't need to play Paul Pogba and Wan-Bissaka, even though they're desperate for match fitness, because I'm going to make them do a few extra laps in training tomorrow. Nothing can substitute match experience. I don't care how hard your training session's going to be tomorrow. It won't substitute playing him in a 90-minute competitive game. It's a missed opportunity. Mark, can you put your predicted lineup back up a sec so we compare what you would thought we would go with to the actual team, says Mike Thomas. I can, actually. Mark, you've got an agenda against McTominay. He's class, love the club and a future captain. Grow him into a CDM will be what Henderson is for Liverpool, says Thomas Melland. I don't have agendas against anybody. I think if you say that I've got an agenda, you come across as very immature. I don't have an agenda against anybody. I just say what I think about somebody. They can always turn it around. You know, prime example is Matic. A year ago, I thought he was total trash. He's turned it around. Centre-back pairing will do better than both Lindelof and Maguire or Maguire and Bailly. How's your arm, Mark? I just got surgery on my vocal cords and it stinks, says Nick Harris. I hope you're doing better. I hope you get better soon. And Ollie has clearly picked the team, keeping Tottenham in mind. He's just hoping some of the fringe players will perform, says Realistic 27. Yeah, but I disagree with that, Realistic 27, because I think that that was my team that I went with. Okay, that was my team. So Lingard on the left, Martial up front, Greenwood on the right, Pogba, Van der Beek and McTominay, Williams, Maguire, Bailly and Wan-Bissaka. So basically, I just would have given Wan-Bissaka, Eric Bailly and Anthony Martial some game time tonight just to get some match sharpness. That's the team I wanted to go with, and obviously this is the team Ollie's gone with, which is no first teamers. Amang says, let's be honest, anyone would have been angry with whatever team Ollie put out today. Can't make everyone happy. It's a cup game. No, I don't think they would have done, Amang. I don't think they would have done, because, you know, I don't think they would have done. I dispute that. I mean, that's just such a lazy thing, I think, in my opinion, to say, oh, people would have moaned no matter what, so let's not moan. And I don't think we are moaning. I just think we're saying that we did this a week ago against Luton, and a lot of you said he should be playing 2 or 3 of the first teamers to get their match sharpness up. Then we played Brighton, and what was said? Well, we're way off. We're still way off. You know, this is what irritates me. You're going to be way off if you don't play them in matches. If we play crap against Spurs at the weekend, Ollie will come out and say, we're still way off. Spurs have played 8 games. Well, you could have got another game in tonight for some of these first teamers. So excuses run thin, don't they? What are Ollie and his coaching staff thinking, says Sean Turner. All of us know these players need match fitness, but they don't. Look at Man City's team tonight. Exactly. They've played a stronger team, haven't they? Do you reckon tonight's centre-back pairing could be an audition to see who plays alongside Maguire against Spurs, says Jack Webb? No, I think he'll play Maguire. I think he'll play Lindelof. And hi, Mark. Thoughts on Reguilon's performance yesterday and Dyer going to the loo during the match, says Praveen. Look, when you got to go, you got to go. It's as simple as that. So, you know, I don't think it's breaking news to go and have a wee or a crap when you're on the football pitch. I've certainly played before, and sometimes it plays on your mind. You're going to play better when you've let it all out. So that's good. And to be honest, I didn't really watch the game to comment on Reguilon. So let's see if he plays against us at the weekend, because I didn't really watch it, if I'm honest. And to be honest, I don't really care. He's not going to be a Manchester United player, is he? So, you know, we decided that we didn't want to do that. Flex, can you hear me? Hopefully he's joining in. Van der Beek is too good for this team. Just previous, says Jordan White. Well, I think that's a good point as well. I don't like the fact that Donny van der Beek, yet again, is playing with inferior players around him. If Donny van der Beek has a bad game or an average game again today, we can all say, well, he's playing with Dan James, Agallo, Juan Mata, Fred and McTominay. That's not Matic, Bruno, Pogba, Rashford, Martial and Greenwood, is it?
Yo.
All right, Flex, you're all right. What do you think about the team, mate?
Yeah, can you hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's just a little bit flat, man. I like the thing that annoys me is that I'm not surprised that Ollie doing it. I'm not. That's the thing that annoys me. Like, I don't expect him to do anything different because of how he operates in this competition and how he has been operating. And that bit what you said there about if we don't play well against Spurs, straight away it's well, we've got players to get back into gear and to start picking up minutes. And I just want to see a bit more of a mix and match. I said it against Luton. I wanted to see a mix and match. This season, the beginning of this season is unlike any other season. I don't need to explain all the reasons why with what we've been through. And the players haven't had the proper pre-season.
No.
It's almost like the games that are not that important, i.e. the Carabao Cup, you should play a stronger team this season. You'd normally say put the Rezzies out, after the pre-season, everyone's fit, ready to go. They've started the season well. But with this set of players and with this pre-season or lack of pre-season we've had, you've got to start mixing it up, man. You've got to, Pogba needs the minutes. Today's the perfect game to play Pogba in. Not like a
match fitness.
Yeah, not like a pride thing like, oh, he shouldn't be playing in the Carabao Cup in the early rounds. No, he should be playing in competitive games because he's been shit.
Yeah, but last season he played him against Rochdale, didn't he? Injured, so
yeah, exactly. And then we didn't see him after that, or was it Arsenal we saw him against him after? And that was
it. He was gone.
And then he was gone, and he was terrible in both games. To be fair, because he just wasn't ready. He's not getting that support, so he needs to play. I agree with what you're saying about kind of it's the dead wood kind of playing. Like Dalot literally hasn't been part of the whole plan. It's almost like he just wants to throw a body in there in case. I don't know. You may as well just play Wan-Bissaka. He was awful against in the last game. Who did he play again? Brighton. He was awful against Brighton. Let him go again. Look, I'm not saying play the whole first team. I'm not saying that. But just a bit more of a mix and match. Literally, like you said, there's only one player there who's pretty much guaranteed to start, and that's Lindelof.
I think that's the point, isn't it? I mean, what everyone at home, what do you get out of this game today other than I hope we win to get through to the quarterfinals? Because none of those players are going to really push to play against Spurs. They're not. Dan James could score a hat-trick. He ain't going to play ahead of Rashford. Agarlo's not going to play ahead of Martial. Bruno comes straight back into that team. So forget what any of that midfield does. Brandon Williams ain't keeping Luke Shaw out. Delow's not keeping Wan-Bissaka out. Maguire's definitely going to start. I don't think Henderson can keep De Gea out. So we learned nothing from this team when actually we could have learned something about Sunday, because if Pogba plays and plays well, you're like, oh, that's interesting for Sunday. But look, you might get him on second half for half an hour. I hope he does.
Yeah, exactly. He will. Hopefully, he needs the minutes. He can't. There's no point, keeping him on the bench for this type of game when he really does need minutes. Especially if we are playing positively and got a good little lead, because Brighton have made a lot of changes as well. Their best players aren't playing too.
Well, I think that's an interesting point as well. Is because we're not playing Luton. We're playing Brighton, and Brighton are a team that we are going to. I think they're going to give us a good game because Potter's a good coach, and we saw this team last week, and I think, if they hadn't been playing Luton, because it was Luton reserves as well, I think Brighton reserves is going to be a tough game for us tonight.
Yeah, and they've still and although it's their reserves, they've still got a couple of decent players out there. Do you know what I mean? So it's not going to be a walk in the park. And like we see with our second string team as well, they never do the business. They very rarely do the business. I mean, I'm trying to count times where they've absolutely done the business. I count Lask away, because they didn't do it at home. It was awful after the restart.
Yeah.
We scraped it. I count when else did Derby County away. They did the business there. What was that? 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
There's not, other than that, anytime the second team comes in, I'm struggling to think. All throughout the Europa League qualifying, it wasn't amazing in the group stages. I remember a 0-0 draw out in Holland at AZ. They didn't even have a shot on goal on target. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, we've seen it. Yeah, that's a good point. We have seen this team a lot, haven't we? The Mata, Fred, McTominay, James, Agarlo.
They never smash it.
And I don't know what you think. I think it's really unfair on Donny van der Beek. I mean, Ricky always moans about this with Mata. He's saying it's not fair.
Yeah.
You don't get to play with Martial and Pogba and that. And to be fair, Donny van der Beek's job is doubly hard because he isn't playing with those players who are going to be on his wavelength, is he? He's playing with players who are just coming in and have underperformed for a long time, and it's a harder job for Donny van der Beek tonight.
It is a harder job because he's playing with the players who are not on the same level as him, not on the same wavelength. And can I say this, talking to his agent early doors to ask him how he thinks what's all that about? It's been 3 games where he's flipping played two off the bench and started one against Luton. Like, what? Why is that even a conversation? I don't get that. That annoyed me earlier when I read that. I'm like, why are we even asking him what's the relationship like with Poch? He's just signed. What's the point in that? But yeah, he needs to play, and that feeds into Solskjaer's midfield dilemma because my opinion is that Pogba's not there yet. So in a sense, you play Pogba for 90 minutes in this game, and you keep Van der Beek and say, right, you're in against Spurs. You know what I mean? Or Bruno, or whichever way around. You got to mix it up, Ollie. But this just shows us that he's making our first team gain their minutes in the Premier League. So he's actually risking points to get their fitness up. And we got away with one. We got away with one against Brighton in the last game, playing the proper team that we all want to see. You know what I mean? So, and obviously we didn't get away with it against Palace. So he's playing a very. If I was him, I wouldn't be as brave as that to do that.
Well,
I know
there's a total mismatch, isn't there? Because this will be our 3rd Premier League game of the season against Spurs at the weekend. It'll be Spurs' 4th, and in between then, I think Spurs have played Carabao Cup last night. That's 5. And maybe 4 Europa League games plus 1 on Thursday. So Spurs will have not all of their players will play, but some of them will have played 90s, half a minute.
Yeah, made a lot of changes.
They'll have played around 10 games this season, Spurs, and our first team is only playing its 3rd game at the weekend. I know we've played Luton and I know we're playing tonight, but the first team players aren't playing.
Exactly.
So the mismatch between us and Spurs is there. That's why to me, I mean, look, I know maybe we're labouring the point here, but to me, he used it after Brighton. We're not there yet. But then if he uses that against Spurs at the weekend, we're not there yet. We will be after the international break. But you've refused 2 games to get your fitness levels up.
Give him exactly 2 valuable games, and that's what I mean. It's almost like we're Man United. We shouldn't have to play our strongest team against Luton. That's probably a bit embarrassing. And I don't. That's not what it's about. You have to focus on what's best for your squad, and what's best for our squad is our starting 11. Playing more games, as much games as possible right now, within reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes, all right, cool. Put a couple in there. Do you know what I'm saying? Play. All right, you might give Shaw. Shaw needs a bit of game time, but you might, with his injury record, you might say, all right, cool. You sit this one out.
Yeah, 100%.
Bailly, fair enough. He needs to play. Henderson, I understand that. But again, the Rashford thing as well. Like against Luton, Martial could have done with that. Come on late. You know what I mean? 80th minute. The game's a bit stale. Bring on Martial, see if he can get a goal. He done it against.
That's what realistic 27 says. In my opinion, playing Martial along with a midfielder Fred, McTominay, Mata, James wouldn't help, as he needs creative players to get the best out of him. But my flip side would be to that. I mean, if Agallo plays anywhere near as bad as he did last week, I mean, look, that's the thing. I mean, United Forever, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks for joining. If you are a new member of the club, you can do that by clicking the join button. Please smash a like and please subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We are going to be talking about transfers in a couple of minutes' time, but let's just finish, talking about the game itself. How do you think this game is going to go? Because a lot of people in the live comments get your score predictions in, but to be honest with you, I'm going to stick with United winning 2-1, but I didn't see this team last week play very well. You've got Dalot coming in from the wilderness. I think McTominay's been bad for a long time. I think Agallo's been bad for a long time. I don't think Mata's up to it anymore. Dan James, I'm interested to see what he does. Danny Van der Beek, I'm interested to see what he does. I think there's too many players on there that don't play well. I think it's going to be a tough watch. I don't think we're going to be doing triangles and high pressing.
No. I think we'll, again, I tweeted it, we won't see a good performance level. We very rarely do with the second team. Don't get me wrong, against Luton's second team, there was a few passages of play that looked okay in the first sort of 10-15 minutes when Mata was in and forced a save from the keeper for a corner before the penalty. But other than that, it was pretty much lethargic until the big boys came on. And I think this will be similar. I mean, look, Mata still, I still think, I know you said Mata's not up to it, and I'm not just trying to do a Ricky. He's still an intelligent player who can create space and uses the ball very well. He still is that for me. I'm not saying he should be starting all the time and he should be playing 90 minutes all the time, because of course not, he can't do it. But I think he should play more. I don't look at it and think, oh, bloody Matt's playing. He's not going to be able to influence this game. He can influence this game because he's good enough to at that level. We've got to put respect on his name. He's still good enough to play Brighton reserves and open them up. He can. He can. Do you know what I mean? And so can Van der Beek. Do you know what I mean? Dan James with the pace running in down that left-hand side.
Dan James has a good game. He looks like he's going to stay.
Yeah, he should be able to. You know what I'm saying? He should be able to. Fred buzzing around. But we should, with the players, and this is what I mean, another thing that annoys me, we're expecting a bad performance because of the evidence that our second team has shown us. But with the players that we actually got there, we should be thinking it's fine, comfortable. Yeah, Brighton play your first team against that. Yeah. Our second team, we should still. That's what it should be. But the evidence has been the proof has been in the pudding with these players, with the second string players. So I'm expecting a difficult watch. I'm expecting a game of moments. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting us to not start fast, not start well, like we keep saying. And I hate to sound negative, and someone's probably going to go, stop moaning, get behind your team. Well, every time I've asked for a proper start and for us to start doing well, like we all have, it's evidence they haven't been doing it. So I think it will be a tough watch. I think we're going to see a game of moments.
Pogba, Wan-Bissaka and Martial should have started. Rashford, Bruno and Greenwood subs. Half-time needs minutes, confidence and goals, says Thomas Meland. Welcome to the Members Club, James English. Thank you for joining. And kind of disappointed by the lineup. Was looking forward to this after the embarrassment that was the US presidential debate. As an American, I apologise, says Yaz. I've heard about this. I've not looked at it.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. It's pathetic.
Look, you know, a massive country like that, and you're going to get represented by two people like that. It is soul destroying, isn't it? But half the first team should play half of these players, and the rest can build fitness in the under-23s like players do when coming back from injury. Or are they too big for their boots now and paid too much, says Robbo FM. And please stop using match fitness as an excuse. The previous season didn't end that long ago, and first teamers don't usually play pre-season, says Vader is dead. Mate, I don't know. I've got to understand. I've got to try and understand what you're talking about there. First teamers don't normally play pre-season. How many pre-season tours have you watched? Because we've done quite a few on the United stand, and most of the first team play on the pre-season, and they haven't had a pre-seson. It is an excuse. It is an excuse, but it's not an excuse when you don't play them in games like tonight. I agree.
Exactly.
It'd be a bit speculative, but Ollie's kind of shown he doesn't trust some of his squad for league games. With Champions League instead of Europa is Carabao the only time he feels he can give some of these players time, says Hitan, maybe. I really believe it's a mismatch playing against Brighton with that team, says Abubakar. I mean, it's going to be interesting how good Brighton are, I agree. And Chelsea says, is Maguire not playing because he wants Lindelof out of the starting lineup? Delo is better than Menza, and we need a sharp James if he should come on against Spurs. Greenwood should play for Agallo, says Chelsea. And welcome to the Members Club, Ruben Tomlinson and Josh Ward. Thank you for joining, everyone. Please subscribe if you're new, by the way. We're very close to 851,000. I think we're about 20 subscribers away, so please subscribe if you're new and we'll be able to change that number. Can you please react to David Cartwright's tweet, says James Choke. Well, while I have a look at that, what is your thoughts on the transfer business at the moment, Flex? Because we spoke last night. To give everybody a bit of a recap, if you've not seen today's videos, Ousmane Dembele is apparently something that's going, United are looking at. They're considering a second bid for Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho is apparently forcing a move to Manchester United at the moment. So, what do you feel at the moment? And if somebody can tell me what this David Cartwright's tweet at is, obviously I don't know who it bloody is, so that just says quite a lot straight away. But if you show me what his at is, I'll have a look. But so what are you feeling at the moment?
Yeah, I'm still sceptical on the Sancho thing. Sorry to bring the negativity or whatever, and look away from the banter that we have about the 0% club, 9% club, whatever. In all seriousness, I just think that they're trying to go right to the end, right to the wire, and force Dortmund to sell, which I just can't see it happening. The Dembele thing's interesting because his injury record is so bad for someone so young that it always is going to make you skeptical. I just can't see it happening. I can't see them keeping him fit. But he is a player with ability. I know. I mean, me and you spoke about this earlier. I know you don't want us to go anywhere near him. And I suppose it's just too much of a gamble at this time. But if we did sign him on a year's loan, so you don't, buy him outright or have an obligation to buy, is it worth a gamble?
Mate, have you seen his last 18 months? Though
he's been poor, missing big chances. I get it.
It's not that. It's his injury record. Like it really is. I can't. It's so bad, mate. It's like 4 hamstring injuries, 3 muscle injuries. It's not a joke. I've seen a lot of people today saying Dembele's a baller, this, that, and the other. how does that fit in with trying to close a gap on Liverpool and Man City, risking it all on a player that's...
You can't rely on him. You can't rely on him.
That's the thing.
I don't think they'll keep him fit. I know he has got ability though. I've seen him. He has got ability, but for what we need right now to gamble, that's what I'm saying. It's a big gamble, and I just don't think it's one that we should go down. If it happens, of course you've got to get behind the boy. Of course you've got to want him to do well, and first of all want him to stay fit. But I just can't see it. You know, even like the Gareth Bale situation, I'm not sure he'll stay fit. That's how I feel about this.
Yeah. I think that's a risk Spurs can take, isn't it, in some ways?
Yeah, because he's the affiliation he's got with them, and where at the stage they're at. But I just can't see Dembele staying fit if he comes, and for me that just doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. So the Tellers thing is still, rumbling on, taking ages. I just think we're going to get towards deadline day before deadline day ish, and that's when it's all going to start happening. I don't understand why that's going to happen, considering how much time we've had. Everyone else has got their targets. It's pathetic.
Eno Egland, thank you very much. He says Maguire's got a knock, according to MUTV, and this is exactly why we needed a centre-back. Can't play with Lindelof and Bay with Jones on the bench in the big matches. Look, I think we would all agree, wherever we sit on Jadon Sancho, we would all agree on this, that whatever happens with this transfer window, Newcastle have just equalised, by the way, 86 minutes, 1-1 against Newport. It's Voldemort. But the reality is, Dembele injury record and our medical staff can be rested, reefer and marriage in hell, says Capil. And that's what I said, it'll be in intensive care within the week. You can't be putting those two together. It's like putting, Anyway, but look, Maguire's got a bit of a knock. Dembele plays more video games than he trains. That's why he's never fit. He's not a professional, talented, yes, but only gets you so far, says KA. And I'll save you the trouble, Mark. Cartwright said United have placed 120 million bid. Sounds like he's trying to be first without actual info. Jacob, I've looked who this Cartwright is. It's an in the know. I've never heard of them in my bloody life. So that, take of that what you like. I told you this yesterday. I said this last night. You will get people over the next few days who, because it's such a big deal, they want to be first. I could say to you right now, because I'm in 90% club, I could say to you right now, deal's done. It's done, everybody. I already know it's done. It's done. I'm lying.
Yeah, but you don't know that, so you're not going to say that.
No, I'm not going to say that. But this is what I mean. You will get liars who are going to jump first, saying it's done. It's not done. It's done when Fabrizio Romano says it's done, because he knows the lawyers working on the deal. So... But you are going to get people who jump first, and they'll say, "Look at me, I was right" next week, but they're not right. They're just trying to be first. I've never heard of that person in my life. I'm not being disrespectful to them. I've never seen that account in my life. It's not one I've ever heard of, been told about, or anything like that. So yeah, I don't think there's anything in that. But I do think the deal is going to happen. But what I would say is about Maguire is that when this transfer window ends, it's a disgrace. It's a bloody disgrace. We needed a centre-back. We didn't get one. T. Smith says, stick with Ollie, everyone. Sancho will come 100%. And I think that's the interesting thing, Flex, as well, is that it's Thursday tomorrow. It's pretty much nailed on that Sancho won't play against Spurs now, because we're not going to get the deal done quick enough. And that to me is this is the third game now. There's 9 points there.
I don't get involved in that. You see that thing where we can get this player for that, and then they can play against this team. So long as they ain't my player, I can't even foresee get them in the shirt, then they can play again. I don't do it. It's not worth it. Because I'll tell you why. I remember you saying, right, Raj, we need to get him in. We got Palace on the weekend, first game of the season. Look how that went. Then it's like, I've got to win against Brighton. Top him up, get him in. Nothing. Now
what I'm saying is, you can believe it's not going to happen. What I'm saying is, even if it does happen, even in your mindset, if we do sign him on Monday, it should have been done before Sunday, because Sancho in that team, it's a massive game. Spurs is a big game for us. I think I look at that United team at the moment, and we all want to close the gap on Liverpool and Man City. But I'm telling you now, when the gap you've got to worry about is the one behind you, it's Spurs and Chelsea. So that game on Sunday is massive, because if we don't win, we go into that international break and we're playing catch up. And this is what I mean about Ollie. You look at that team on my left tonight. Is Delo in the shop window? Yes, he is. So why is he playing? Is he now not in the shop window because, Ollie's got to keep a player he doesn't want? Or is he putting him in the shop window? Either way, it smacks of being ill-prepared. Maybe the same with Dan James. They were thinking about letting him go at the weekend. Are they still thinking about getting him go? Or is it now we'll just have to crack on with him? We are so ill-prepared for this season. It's beyond a joke. And, whether Sancho comes in on Monday or not, he should have been in already, and he definitely should be in before Sunday, because we need to start. And ultimately, Jadon Sancho signs before Sunday, which I don't think he is going to do now. He'd probably be the fittest player in the squad because he's actually had a pre-season and played a number of games.
Yeah, he would. He would be fit. And it does give the players a lift. It's just, as a fan, you just see the things that go with, thinking of the player when they haven't even signed for you. And really, forget that as well. Just our board, the way we move, the way we operate, the way we have not executed any deals. I've got no faith in them doing something sensible, like getting him in early enough to be registered to play against Spurs. I just can't see us doing that. This is going right down to the wire, where obviously the outcome I think it's going to be. But just the lack of giving the players a new balance. It's like at work, isn't it? If you work in an office or wherever, a shop or whatever, and you get some new people on the staff team, it just makes going to work a little bit different. Do you know what I mean? It just gives you a little bit of a lift, gives you a little bit of a bounce. Even if after a few weeks you go, I don't really like that person, they're a bit of a prat. But at the beginning, it just gives you a chance to say, you know what, let's freshen it up. Do you know what I mean? It's not always about the competition are going to take my place or they're here to threaten me.
Yeah.
And it just gives everyone a lift, and sometimes makes people raise their own games. They think, the new guy's here, can't let him, he's levels. So yeah, it's just a disgrace. And to be honest, the real reason why I'm down is not because, like I said about this whole 0% club thing, it's a laugh. But in all honesty, I don't want to be proved right. I don't want to be proved right. I want it to happen. And really, it's the board and our lack of organisation that's done it. That's done that to us. We've got no faith.
Tyler Jones, welcome to the members club. Also, Shaveen says, last day of the window, we signed a Galo from the Chinese Super League, who's hardly contributed. This window again, heading to United, signing some Pratt out of desperation. Pathetic. Rudolph the Red says, I know it's the Mirror, but they say Sancho has told advisors to pull out all the stops to get the deal done. Thoughts, guys? To be honest, I've been told that it is the Mirror, but there's a lot of truth in that. I actually got an email from somebody today, and I don't know whether I'm meant to. I probably shouldn't say who it's from, but I did get told that because I was like, the Mirror is shit, and they said actually there's a lot of truth in that. Mark, pre-season have consist of a lot of easy cardio, strength, and technique. The players need that, and if they play a lot of games, they will be fatigued. That's why they are rested as much as possible, says Babyfaced Assassin. But it didn't work at the weekend, did it? And Mr. Goldbridge, I've got the Rona. Wish me luck and stay safe, says ATO. Well, I hope you stay safe, mate. Make sure you rest, plenty of fluids, and plenty of rest. Get on that Netflix. And if we beat Spuds, Maureen will blame his run of games. If we lose, he will be more than insufferable. He will be smug, saying they won despite games, says Mark War. Well, there's two things I want to talk about the transfer window, because we've still got 20 minutes till kick-off, really. First of all, better sign the Mallorcan pineapple seller instead of Dembele, says Shrey the Grey. But personally, the centre-back situation has been cleverly manipulated by this football club and suppressed. I look at if Maguire gets in. Look, we are crap at centre back, and all I keep hearing from people, and I'd love to jump on this bandwagon. I'm telling you now, Mengi's going to be one of the best centre backs in the world. Well, he's that good. He hasn't even played a minute yet, so he's not ready. So stop telling me how good Mengi's going to be, because he isn't even playing Carabao Cup games. So forget about him for a year. He ain't the solution. Twansebi could be the solution. He ain't even fit. So we've got two young players that we're all hoping are going to be really good, but how many minutes are they going to get this season? So really, you're back where you started: Lindelof, Bay, and Maguire. How the fuck are we going to get into any sort of top two race with those three at centre back? We needed a centre back. They've covered it. Basically what United's line is at the moment is centre back. We're going to look at next summer. What the hell about this bloody season? So, Liverpool are about to win 20 titles. That's our record. Oh, we'll wait till next summer. Do one.
That is exactly it. Like, to answer your question, bro, we can't finish in the top two or win the league with that defence, with that centre-back pairing in particular. It's impossible. I will go on record as to say that, and if I'm proved wrong, then I will be absolutely astonished.
You're right on that one.
It's impossible. You just can't do it. And the fact that, and this is what I mean, everything keeps going back to Jadon Sancho. But I'm sorry, it has to, because of the money we're willing to part ways with for him, or what we're trying to do. And if we do get him, the money it will be. That means they're saying that that's more important than sorting out the back, And you know, you said it right there. We've got young players there who are not getting a chance, who aren't perceived as ready yet, who aren't going to play instead of the senior pros. You've got Tuanzebe there, you know, same sort of situation. Can't stay fit. Bailly, we already know, look, out of what we've got, we keep begging for him to play with Maguire, but we all know deep down, let's face it, he's going to get injured. He's going to get injured. He can't, as much as I love
maybe not
Bailly,
tonight, maybe not tomorrow, but soon, and for the rest of the season.
And I'm not wishing it on him, of course not, but I'm just saying, again, it's all about evidence.
You know, mate, you know, this is the thing about Dembele, because I was going to come on to that. Everyone's like, oh, you know, Dembele's a baller, let's give him a chance. But if I talk to people about Eric Bailly, do you think he's staying fit all season? No. And this is what I'm on about Dembele. He's got a worse injury record. He's not been unlucky. He's got hamstrings like breadsticks. He will get injured. But yeah, you know, back to Bailly anyway.
Yeah, but he won't. He's just the best we've got right now as a temporary fix.
Yeah.
Because even if Bailly stayed fit for a whole season, that's not really good enough to win the league as well. It's just the best of what we have. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Oh, Newcastle putting it. Newport hanging on for their lives here, mate. Yeah, it really will be a sad state of affairs because they haven't invested in the centre back position. They're not going to get a centre back. I can't see it. We're not even linked to any right now. It's not going to happen. We're almost certainly not getting the centre back. I think we'll finish this. We'll finish it with obviously the Jadon Sancho situation if that happens and the Tellez. Very interesting to see what happens if he doesn't sign though, Sancho, because like I said, they're trying to put up 90 M's, so you've got at least 90 to 100 million there. So why have you not got another centre back?
Well, I think this is the thing. I mean, look, even if the board was competent and Ollie was given time, the team is not coached well enough to bridge the gap to the top two, says Bucko 21. I think that's irrelevant though, mate. I mean, you might be right, and I'm sure Flex would probably say you are right, and the Ollie Outwards will say you're right, but I think that's the leap too far. This is why I always say, look, I understand the frustration with Ollie and his tactics. I'm frustrated with his team tonight, but you know, you can't leap from, well, even if he did get the players, he'd be shit. He ain't got the players. And that, you know, Mourinho didn't get the players and Van Gaal didn't get the players. So at what point do you start saying, hold on a minute, there's a recurring theme here. Regardless who the manager is, they don't get backed. Bailly to have a better game today than Lindelof, but Lindelof will still get picked on Sunday, says Jordan M. I would agree with that, actually. And Mark, United should play their strongest as you struggled against Brighton, and it's most likely the only cup you can win, says Zane. And at least we're in the Champions League. And Will Murphy, latest member of the United Stand Members Club, thanks for joining. You can do that by clicking the join button. But we're not getting the centre-back, and we've got the midfielder and his agent's moaning already. But if we don't get Sancho, I don't care how anybody dresses this up. If we don't get Sancho, the Dembele loan has been described by the British media as a desperate loan deal if they can't get Sancho. That's their words, not mine. So if we don't get Sancho, you are back into the world of last day of the window last year when we wanted a striker. And in the morning, we're getting Josh King. In the early afternoon, it's Rondon. And then you end up with a Garlo. So this is the thing. If we didn't get Sancho, it would be desperation, whatever we did. And it, you know, could
well,
be
let me ask you this then. If we don't get Sancho, who do you just rather us get nobody and just see it out and make Greenwood and Dan James or Greenwood and Mata be the guys on the right hand side? Would you just say get no one, or do you want someone?
I mean, look, everybody in the live comments, and I don't know what you think, are going to say no, we need to get somebody. I would say don't get anybody because.
Well, if you don't think we can get Sancho next year, because I know you don't.
No, it is now or never with Sancho. But the people who are available, they ain't good enough for me. If you don't get Sancho, you've got to go and get Adama Traore, Wilfried Zaha, someone like that. You can't get them with 3 or 4 days left in this window. So I would rather we waited and got a proper right winger. But you're right. If we don't get Sancho, we'll go and do something stupid. We will go and give bloody Watford 50 million for Sarr, or we will go and gamble on Dembele. And the reality is, own your mistake. The whole world knows we've worked on this deal for 6 months. The whole world knows that Sancho wants to come. The whole world knows that Solskjaer wants Sancho. If you mess it up, you mess it up. And you have to hold your hands up. Don't go and pretend that you didn't want him in the first place and that Ousmane Dembele is a good alternative, because he's not. You know, I would rather own the absolute catastrophe of this deal not happening than try and cover it with another plaster, because that's never worked in the past.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. It hasn't, and for me, that's one of the biggest concerns. Not just on the Sarr thing, because you know what I think about Sarr, but it will. It's evident that whoever we get, it won't be who we actually wanted,
No.
regardless of whether the player is a good player coming in, regardless of whether the player could actually go on to be a success. It shows an ineptitude in the board because you're saying I want this, but you're getting not always the second rate because they are going to be to Sancho because Sancho is the best in that position for his age, barring a few in world football right now. So we know they're just not going to be Sancho. So it's custard pie, in it. You wanted the guy and you couldn't get him. So now whoever it is else that you go for is seen like a bit of a downgrade, which is always unfair on that player coming in because it's they're excited to go for it and they think they can, but it just shows how inept the board actually is, and that's the real thing that's pissing off the fans because you should be able to go identify your target, even if the opposition you're trying to get them off is the club is trying to be stern. Well, combat it from early doors, and we just have not done that with this situation at all.
Penalty shootout in Newport versus Newcastle. I'll keep you updated with it. Straight to penalties in Carabao Cup, which is good actually.
Yeah.
Tom Parker says, I see a decent game from James tonight on the left, but shocking side really. Don't rate McTominay one bit. Igalo isn't good enough for a bottom half side, which I agree with that actually. Welcome to the members club, Will Murphy and EB Classic Events. Thanks for joining, lads and ladies. Might be a lady. You get a little badge next to your name, and we've got some exciting stuff coming up with the members in the next week or so that Drawty's working on. Hi, Mark. When people don't perform, there are consequences. It seems everyone at United faces consequences except Woodward. Is there no accountability? Not with him. He's above it. Newcastle just missed a penalty. Linton really couldn't hit the ocean from a boat, could he? He's just got no final ball. Hi guys, off topic. What's happened to Saeed? Says Wayne Greener. Don't know. No, he's left, mate. And look at City lineup. Players like Kevin De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling, Rodri all starting. Shows Pep knows they need match fitness.
That's why that's just their cup as well.
I mean, that says it all. Love the channel, says Rowdy. I mean, look, yeah. Pep knows his players, like our players, need match fitness, and he's gone and played all those players. I think it's a mistake. Look, I love Ollie. I want him to do well. But I'm not going to say that he's not going to make mistakes. And I think he's made mistakes against Luton and tonight. Sorry, iPad died, says Jacob Hurley. Didn't know if you answered my super chat. Score predictions for you and Flex, mate. Lineup is a disappointment. Van der Beek and Henderson, the only excitement with the lineup. Thank you, Jacob, for the super chat. Lees James is playing his preferred position for a year, says David Barber. We need quality players in. Sancho or no Sancho. Winning starts from the top. What is the board doing? No wonder players seem uninspired, says Chris. And if Sancho doesn't go into training tomorrow, I can see us bidding tomorrow. What do you think, Mark, says Green Grits. And I'd absolutely take Sarr or Dembele and Sancho. It gives extra backup to the wingers. Jovic, I think, would also be great with United style of play. What's your score predict? That was from. Let me just shout them out. That was from Acid 23. So mine was 2-1 United. Even though I think it's not going to be a great watch. What's yours, Flex?
Yeah, I went 2-1. And I am Mr. 2-1. I go 2-1 a lot because I always believe that we're going to concede, and I always believe that we might just scrape a couple goals. And I think this will be the same. You look at the team again.
I think they're going to have to. I think for United to win, they're going to have to do something many of us aren't expecting, because I do think Brighton, regardless of they're playing their reserves as well, they're still a well-coached side. So I think that they will give us a good game. Harry Evans, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. Please subscribe if you're new, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We did 5 videos yesterday. We're on video 3 today. I think for the next 4 days it's going to be chaotic. And if you want to keep up to date with breaking news and reaction, United Stand's the place to be. So subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner, and get your notifications on. It's free to do it. He's missed it. He's bloody missed it. And he's wearing pink boots. It's the pink boots, Flex. He's wearing pink boots. He's got ginger hair. That doesn't matter. But he's wearing pink boots.
That doesn't matter.
He's wearing pink boots and he's bloody missed it. No word of a lie. It's this crap penalty. Why would you take a penalty when you're wearing pink boots? What a prat.
Nothing wrong with pink boots, mate. I play in pink boots.
Well, you'd probably miss a penalty then. You don't step up a pink boots emoji from Jamie Stubbs. You don't take a penalty to nearly put Newport through in pink boots. What a prat.
Do if you score. What's this? If he scores this, they win.
No.
Oh no, one more.
If they miss this, Newport are out. It's
Yeah,
4-3, and this is Newport's last penalty. So if they score this, it goes through to knockout. But Mr. Pink Boots wasn't Phil Jones on loan, but
this guy's got black boots. What are you saying, Mark? Is he stepping up? Number 8, left-footed.
He's a left footer. He's going to
bottom right-hand corner. Go the way his foot's facing. There you go. Keep you in the title.
That was a Goldbridge FIFA pen. That bottom corner.
Yeah.
Kickoff is in 10 minutes. So, yeah, we're both going 2-1 by the looks of it. But
yeah,
I'm not going to pretend that I'm not worried. I mean, that's such a I mean, look, forget about whether he should be playing first team as flex. It's a very cobbled together team. I know that's always going to be the case when you play your reserves, but you lose fluidity there. There's a lot of out of form players there, and they were out of form even after lockdown, weren't they? Longstaff. I mean, Man United scouted this player.
Oh, that's why we should have bought him. See?
I think he's a bag of shit. I really do. I think Longstaff is a bag of shite. I can't believe United are desperate.
You're actually... Do you know what? Yeah, you're actually... I hope some of these young players don't listen to you sometimes.
No, I watch these...
The young kid, he's trying to build his career. He's trying to do his thing.
Can't get in the
and you get team. You going, calling him a bag of shit.
No, no. He's not a Man United player. Oh, he's missed that one.
Oh my God! Bloody hell! He bloody plays it into the car park. Bloody hell!
Chris Waddle, Poundland. Chris Waddle, 1990.
Yeah, Mark, you can't
get that ball back. That's Newport County. They can't afford. They're not bloody Premier League. They can't afford to lose balls to the car park. Go and fetch it. I'd say stop crying. Go and fetch that bloody ball back, you prat. But he's missed it.
Mark, you're actually a mad guy. I've realised it more and more. You're actually nuts. You can't call... Like, Sean Longstaff is living his dream. Boyo club. He's doing his thing. He's playing in the Prem. Where he's on the bench right now, and you're calling him a bag of shit.
What happens with just simple black and white shoes, says Pirate Klassen, Puma King. Welcome
boring,
to the Members Club, boring. Connor and Adrian Davies. Thanks for that. Well, there's a bit of a debate in the live comments now then, isn't there? Is it wrong to call a player a bag of shit?
Well...
Of course it's not.
Yeah, you can say he's not good. Call him an actual bag of shit. A bag with shit inside it.
In the context of Manchester United Football Club, who were going to pay £30 million for him, I wouldn't give 3.
Oh, mate.
So, look, if he's watching or his family are watching, I don't mean like he's a literal bag of shit. But what I mean is, I would never have him at Manchester United. I would rather play Phil Jones in midfield. I don't think he's very good. I've not seen him anything like that. And anybody who says big disrespect, right? I used to go to matches as a kid and actually as an adult. You haven't lived. You know what it's like on the terrace, Flex, even now. You know what they're like.
Mate, they shout some ridiculous things.
They vile stuff. So, you know, I'm only a product of what I grew up with. I mean, I was going to matches when I was like 6. And
you got to break the mold.
People were shouting, lay down and die, you fucking shite. Yeah. You know, so, you know.
Yeah, no, I hear people say that shit now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I hear people say that stuff now. I just think, listen, we all support in different ways, but for me to call another human being them things and ask for a man to die and all that over kicking the ball around, there's going to be some fans who will listen to that and go, oh, see, I always knew Flex wasn't a real fan. If you're United, you always want the other team to die. But it's just levels, man. This is football. Like me personally, just me as a person, I could not go. Yeah, you might call someone a swear word name, but to say go and die and all that.
Yeah, but I've met a couple of players, right? And they've said you said this about me. I had David Wheater contact me on Instagram.
Oh, is it? What, the one used to play for Stoke?
Bolton. Yeah.
Everton.
He played for Bolton.
Bolton, that's it.
Apparently, I said something about him on a FIFA stream, and he messaged me on Instagram, and he went, "What's this you're talking about?" And I went, "Mate, I'm having a laugh. I'm having a joke. Don't."
What? He actually messaged you?
Yeah, it was Thogden, who's a Bolton fan, said he wants to message her, so I followed him, and then it was just basically to say, "What's this you're on about me?" And I went, "Mate, it was a joke." And he came back again, and I said, "Look, if you haven't got a sense of humour, I can't say anything." I didn't.
What did you say?
I don't even know.
Or was it going to get you in trouble for saying it again?
No, I don't know what I said. I can't remember. I said I don't know. I say it about so many people. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing with because we're watched by or listened to and that by so many people. You just like anything you say can just be taken to heart, innit?
But they're idiots, then, aren't they? Because I think 24,800 people pretty much know that. Yeah, we love the club and we love the football and we're passionate, but nothing's ever really said vindictively. It's just passion, isn't it? It's just, bag of shit translates to, I don't
You're
think
not
it's
very good.
Dara Khan, welcome to the members club. What do you think of Darmian joining Inter? Seems like Inter United, says Omar Hamdi. I know. I was getting confused about it the other day because I was like, is Darmian still a United player? No, we've just sold him and he's going to Inter, isn't he? Man United play Newcastle after the international break. Could be Sancho's first game for United to Stuart Taylor. I think that will be Sancho's first game for United. I don't think we're going to... I can't see him being in for Spurs.
Let's stop predicting his first game, will you? Do me a favour. Roy Keane, do me a favour.
90% club. 90% club.
Just honestly, that is a bad state of affairs where it's like you're doing your predicted lineup for Newcastle away already.
Somebody on Twitter said today, Flex, and I did reply to them, so you can check my timeline. They said Flex's position is described as basically sitting on the fence. He can't lose. If we sign Sancho, it's a really happy day for him. And if we don't, he can just say, I didn't think it was going to happen anyway.
Yeah, but you know why that's...
Whereas the true brave person is Goldbridge, who's got his info, has assessed the situation and has gone, you know what, I'm going to put my reputation on the line and say it's going to happen, even though a lot of people think it won't.
No, do you know why that's stupid? Because what he's saying there, right, I've already said, I don't want to be... I'm not doing this to say... Sit down, I told you he wasn't coming and now my club doesn't have one of the best wingers in the world. Like, what satisfaction would I get out of that? Like, this isn't sitting on the fence. This is saying, don't think we're going to sign him, mate. They won 120 million pounds, euros. We're not... Go on, Karen, hold it for
us. You see her holding that? Put the umbrella up with the mask on.
We're not going to pay 120 million pounds, in my opinion. So it's completely not sitting on the fence. It's completely saying, I don't think my club are going to pay the flipping money. Yeah, you can say if they do, then great. It's amazing. Oh, look, you're happy now. Of course I want to be proved wrong, but I don't think we're going to sign him. What do you want me to do? Lie? Do people want me to lie?
No.
Get out of here.
I just think you're going to get sat down and it's not your fault, But at least you'll be in the company. You'll learn. You'll go, next time I'm going to learn from Guru Goldbridge about transfer.
Fabrizio's just tweeted.
I don't trust them.
No, he has. I've just seen it.
He says
never get too excited about a player who isn't holding up your shirt with a pen in the hand because I just signed the contract. Wait till they actually do it.
No, he didn't. Guys, do our board have no self-awareness of how pathetic they look? Always driving the price down, low ball bidding. Other teams must laugh at us. But then you spend £80 million on Harry Maguire. That's the bloody hypocrisy of it.
Harry Maguire.
Mark and Flex, it's 50-50. Either he comes or not, says Richard. In fairness...
Well, that's what you call sitting on the fence, isn't it? That's 50-50. No one's saying it.
I guarantee if we did a poll now, it would be 50-50. I saw one this afternoon and a lot of people... were saying that, so I think they're probably right. Sarab says, Flex, saw your interview with Sky Sports. I had the exact thoughts. You represented his fans well. Bloody cheers. And I'll come back to that one. And hard to see United get much of the ball in the Champions League this season against teams like Bayern without improving the current squad. I don't know why you're on Sky Sports because you don't represent Man United fans. You're from London. You're not a real fan. What are you doing on there?
I'm not a real fan, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm just a paid actor. I must be quite a good
one there. I think you've probably got the same sort of agent as Jim White or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm only.
It's the media company behind us. It's because we're owned by B Sky B.
Okay. Well, we are we're only 2 minutes away from kickoff, so we better let Flex go until half time. Yeah. Flex, where's the vlogs? Missed those vids. Says, well, unless he starts driving around the block, he can't do a vlog. I'm on the way to the game, which is actually my house. So I'm driving around the block with Josh. Josh, come over.
Do you know what? Yeah, the worst thing is it's got that bad that I'm telling you now. I reckon we could just drive up the M6, do vlogs, and drive around the empty Old Trafford. People would enjoy that right now. It's that bad.
Yeah, there's something in that. Will Sancho be watching Dortmund or United as Nicholas Cowie? He's probably got early access on FIFA 21, to be honest, doesn't he? And humour me, Mark. Imagine if we signed King and he won us the league, says Kevin Del Torre. What was the name of that United player, actually? We were playing a Champions League game and he tweeted about playing FIFA. Oh, what was his name? I can think of him. Quite a tall guy, midfielder.
I don't know.
It was a Champions League game when we played Wolfsburg. I can even see what he looks like. I want to say Gillespie and it wasn't. What was his bloody name? Someone in the live comments will know. Tweeted about playing FIFA when United were playing. Anyway, I On Killer agrees with Flex on the Sancho deal. Someone's got to. And yeah, all right. We'll see you at half time then, Flex. Any famous last words? Sancho's not signing or something?
No famous last words. I've got nothing.
All right. We'll see you at half time.
In a bit.
Yeah, you can follow Flex and his negative Sancho opinions on Twitter at FlexUTD. About to kick off. That was a good quick hour there. I enjoyed that chat. So please subscribe if you're new. We're about to kick off here. We have got match reaction player ratings, so you can do that, of course, as always. I'll be doing my match reaction with your player ratings, which you can vote for through the UnitedStand.com in the second half. We had about 10,000 votes last time. And then after my match reaction, we've got Flex and KG and guests for an hour talking about United, but also about transfer stuff. So that'll be your evening covered on the United Stand. So make sure you subscribe if you're new. All free, bottom right-hand corner. Game's kicked off there. I'm trying to think of the name of this player, and I should know it, and I don't want to look at the live comments. So we have kicked off. Time is on the screen, which is good. I know the bloody player. It's not Darren Gibson. He's got a similar build to Darren Gibson. Dan James trying to get a Garlo on the ball there. Nick Watson. That's not it. What's his bloody name? I can see it in front of me. Wasn't Yannisai. Thanks for the sticker from Renate. Chelsea says, hi Mark, you know that game that started Haaland's career with 9 goals against Honduras? Who else was playing that game with 4 assists and 1 goal? A player that we should sign but goes elsewhere, says Chelsea. Yeah, is that the lad who's gone to AC Milan? Jordan Such, United report saying United some way below Porto valuation of Tellez. This is becoming a farce. Forget Sancho. We won't even get Tellez, says Jordan Such. Yeah, it is a little bit embarrassing. And also, Flex, saw your... Yeah, we've done that one from Sarab, so that's great. It wasn't Gibson. Powell, Nick Powell, Lee Stewart. Stand up and have a clap. I never would have got that. Did I say Nick Watson? Anyway, Brighton have got the ball here on the right-hand side, and Eric Bay will clear it. It's raining here today. So your team for United is on my left, but it's Bay and Lindelof as the centre-backs. Maguire's not playing because he's got a knock. Agarlo through the middle up front has just gone down. Mata on the right. Dan James playing off the left. Van der Beek, Fred and McTominay. And then Williams and Delo as the full-backs. Henderson in goal. So, yeah. When is Sancho's United debut, says Ryan Bissell. I think it will probably be against Newcastle at this point. But look, exciting. Looking forward to this, and I hope you all are as well. Exciting few days. I don't know whether I'd call it exciting few days for Manchester United, to be honest, in the transfer window. I wouldn't call it exciting. I think we will get Sancho. You know I do, but I wouldn't call this last few days exciting. I think there's only one word to describe it, and that's shambolic in the transfer window. We will get excitement, I think. We will get moments of happiness, but it's really not been that good. Favourite porn star, Mark, says Rickson. Now's not the time. I don't watch porn. Fred started well, says Arky. Very early in the game to be saying people have started well. What a crap ball by Lindelof that is, and it goes for a goal kick. A lot of rain there tonight. Don't know whether that's an excuse or not. Yeah, so the way the player ratings work, if you don't know, I will tell you when the player ratings is open on the UnitedStand.com. It's normally like the 70-minute mark in the second half. You can go onto the UnitedStand.com and you can vote for your player ratings. Basically, you mark every player out of 10, 6 being average. Vote for your man of the match by putting a star next to the name of the player, and then submit your scores. And then when I do my match reaction after the game, like at the weekend, we had 10,000 votes. So when I press my player rating, it aggregates your 10,000 and we get a comparison, which is, I think it's the best way of doing player ratings in the world. Certainly for Manchester United Football Club, because we're a fan channel and it's all about your opinions. And I'd much rather see what you all think collectively as an aggregation than see what a journalist thinks. I mean, the amount of player ratings I see are crap. But Brighton are a very annoying team in my opinion, says Ishan. I think they're a well-drilled team, Brighton. And I think they'll give us a better game. And I think if we can win this game tonight, regardless of the fact that I don't think that any of these players have a future at United really in relation to first team football. I'm disappointed Lingard's not playing tonight. I thought Lingard played well against Luton. I don't know why. I mean, should we read anything into that? Why is Lingard not playing tonight? Who is the captain? Says Hadrian. I presume it's either McTominay or Lindelof. I can't. Melbourne, what will matter? I think Mata's captain actually. I don't know that for definite, but I would say it's Juan Mata. Mark, does the transfer window end on the 16th or the 5th? Says William Taylor. I think it ends on the 16th, but people are talking about you can buy championship players afterwards. It is Mata. Thank you, OR. So yeah, get your thoughts and comments in the live comments. That's what it's for. Oscar says Sancho's coming because he's not starting for Dortmund. We all knew that last night, mate, because he didn't get on playing. And Stan Games says Leicester are going to win the league. No, not this year. Hi, Mark. I've been saying this as long as we don't get a proper natural CDM, we will continue to struggle, even if we get Sancho or Dembele. Do you agree? Says Talk About Revolution. We need a top class centre back, and we do need a centre defensive midfielder. I mean, look, Scott McTominay's playing CDM again. He ain't a CDM. He's just not a centre defensive midfielder. I mean, and straight away he gets the ball and passes it straight to a Brighton player. 20-yard pass straight to a Brighton player. Mamma mia. You don't have to prove me right within seconds, Scott. He literally ran to get the ball. Man United have now opened talks with Barcelona for Ousmane Dembele, are offering a loan for Dembele, while Sancho deal with Dortmund is stalling. Man United also contacted player's agent, putting so much effort to convince the player who already refused Liverpool in June. So, there you go. It's that worries me a bit. That does worry me. Curtis says he's still 90%. Yeah, I am still 90%. I mean, that's literally... We're getting that live that Fabrizio Romano is saying that United have... let me just read it. I want to get exactly the right quote here. United have now opened talks with Barcelona for Ousmane Dembele. United are offering a loan for Dembele while Sancho deal is stalling. United have also contacted the player's agent, putting so much effort to convince the player who already refused Liverpool. So United, I mean, that's Fabrizio Romano. Manchester United are putting a lot of effort into Ousmane Dembele on loan then. That's basically the latest for you tonight. But look, I think it would be an absolute farce to get Dembele. There's question marks over his attitude. There is lots of rumour about him being a bloody PS4 addict and not a footballer. His injury record is up there with Phil Jones. I just think it's desperate. I mean, I know a lot of you are excited about it, but I think it's just absolutely disgusting that United... the scary thing is, whether we do the deal or not, the scary thing is we're begging him to come and he doesn't want to come. If we convince him to come, we're convincing Bubble Wrap FC. He's a Bubble Wrap player. Like, it's terrifying. And I know some of you will be excited about it, but to me, that is just all kinds of wrong. All kinds of wrong. So, but a lot of you will get excited about it because you'll think, Ousmane Dembele, he's a good player, but I'm telling you now, he's Bubble Wrap. Thoughts on Spurs game yesterday, says Marcus Patterson. I didn't actually watch it, mate. It's literally another Di Maria, says Xavier Daniels. It's not even another Di Maria. Well, it is similar to Di Maria, but it's an injury-prone Di Maria. It's terrifying, to be honest with you. United on the attack here with Igalo. Lindelof with the header back, and Brighton just clear it. Thank you, Dominion, about the delay. I've worked on that. Get your super chats coming in. Opinion on Fernandes being rested, says Matty Schmidt. I mean, I'm not bothered about Bruno being rested because I think Bruno looks like he's one of our sharpest players at the moment. So that to me doesn't worry me. Mark, these last 24 hours, let's be honest, have turned and not in a good way for us getting Sancho. I'm starting to lose faith in being 0% club, says Andrew C. He's a Di Maria and Phil Jones love child, says Lee Taylor. And what about Ollie not wanting players who do not want to be here? If Dembele needs convincing, surely just pay for Sancho who wants to come, says Julian. Exactly. Exactly. I'm still 90%, by the way. But as you know, I'm not gonna I'm not going to ignore credible news, though. And that is out of the words of Fabrizio Romano, who is very credible. So I can't ignore it. And the problem with being 90% club, which I still am, is that there's 10% there. And what have I always said about the 10%? The 10%, the reason I'm not 95% or 99% is because of the 10% is all about the board. That was always my concern. You know, 90% is based on everything I've been told, everything that's in the public arena, who Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority is, Jadon Sancho wanting to come to the club. All these things are why I am 90%. The 10% that isn't 90% is because of this board. Because of stupid things they've done in the past, like getting Falcao or Di Maria, or players that don't want to be at the club. Galactico signings. Let's just get him because he's got a good reputation without scouting him. Let's not have a look at his injury record. That's why I'm 90% and not 95%. And look, Fabrizio Romano says we're desperately now trying to get Ousmane Dembele to come to Manchester United on loan. That's a worry. Of course it is. I'm not going to move from 90%, but that is a huge, huge concern. And I'm telling you now, this signing would be a disaster. An absolute disaster. And there's no part of me that would be excited about it. What about, will you do the hokey pokey if Igalo scores, says Jack Gleeson. And Mark, be honest, when will you concede defeat in pursuit of Sancho? Sunday evening, or would you really hold out for deadline day, says Andrew C. No, I would concede, there's 3 reasons I would concede defeat in the Sancho thing. 1, we go past Monday night. 2, Sancho comes out and publicly says he's staying at Dortmund. 3, we sign another right winger. So, you know, they'd be the 3 things. I honestly can't even concentrate properly on the match after that bombshell from Fabrizio. My God, it's worrying. Hopefully a smokescreen. Bloody hell, says Stephen Cherney. And if I could choose to either sell Bruno and Martial, my favourite players, and not get Dembele, or get Dembele, I would, says Nonsense Official. And Ollie's ethos has been signing players who want to play for us. Either the board are going against him or he's being a hypocrite, says Jason Jacob. The board have gone against him, mate. If we get Dembele, that is not Ollie's signing. This is exactly what happened to Mourinho and Van Gaal. You end up with players that are not who you want. Doesn't get Dembele, go against the... Yeah, we've done that. Thanks for that, Will Butler. Bill Bob says Goldbridge is backtracking. No. I'm not backtracking. I'm still 90%. What I'm saying is there's always 10% that it can't happen. Like 90% isn't 100%, is it? And I'm explaining to you the 10% that could destroy it is exactly this sort of stupidity. But I'll say all this if it doesn't happen. I'm like a minute behind in the game, says Senathan. It's been quite, you know what, in relation to the game, we are 13 minutes in. It's been quite a good game, actually. United have been quite energetic, which is good to see. I don't know whether that's because it's raining or what, but there's an equality to it. Would be a snub to Ollie if they signed Dembele. Exact opposite of the culture he's trying to rebuild, says Sean Finity. Any truth in Ollie convinced Sancho to force a move by sitting out of the recent match as Hadrian won? I mean, look, there is some truth in that. I've been told that by a lot of people, that Sancho isn't playing tonight to try and force the move. I mean, look, what if United get Sancho and Dembele? What if they get both players? Because if Dembele's alone, then, you know, why not get both? But I don't know whether we'd do that. Brandon Williams, all on his right foot again, comes backwards to Bailly when he should be going forward. Eric Bailly there, little dink towards Ighalo, who, you know what, I think one of the big disappointments with Ighalo since he had that good start is, I could say he's been crap, but one of the big disappointments with Ighalo is that he just looks so off the pace. He can't hold the ball up. Brighton knocking the ball around nicely. Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. So it's going to be interesting few shows tonight then. We've got the match reaction and then we've got the hour with Flex and KG show. So they'll be talking about all this transfer stuff. Yeah, I would like to think, you know, imagine if we did get Dembele and Sancho. That would be, you know, still bad in my opinion, because I think Dembele is still a bad signing. If we don't get the players Ollie wants, he should throw the towel in under the bus, says Mark Holder. I mean, I don't think Ollie would ever do that, to be fair. Is it possible to have both Sancho and Dembele, especially if James goes, says Eric Deck? I still think it's a... I'm not going to be a hypocrite, mate. I still think it's a bad deal getting Dembele. You can't just say, oh, I've got Sancho now, so I'll take Dembele. It makes it less of a risk, but his injury record is a disgrace. I mean, if someone wants to, you know, get in the live comments and type out his injury record. Good play by Mata! And Ighalo misses an open goal! Oh, you said yesterday about buying players for half price is very telling. Woodward buys players for their name, not ability, like Falcao when he was crap, says Michael Fetty. Fabrizio saying talks with Sancho have stalled in latest tweets does not sound good. And I think Ighalo should score this, should he? Nice ball by Brandon Williams. Mata with the cutback, rounds the keeper. Yeah, that's just not a sharp striker. That's one movement. Round in with your right, tap it in with your left. Doesn't get it right at all. Why do we not always start Bay every week? His pace closes out all the through balls, says James Jarvis. And if we don't get... and also, we need big investment in the squad, and getting forward on a loan would be a disgrace since there isn't any time to get a great centre-back or CDM instead, says Gustav. I said it was going to be a crazy last few days in the transfer window, and I've also said it wouldn't necessarily be an enjoyable one. It could be horrible. It's going to be stressful. And the reason for that is because this is one of the worst transfer windows in the last 8 years. It's terrible. You look at what Arsenal, Spurs, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Wolves, Leicester have done in this window. They've all done a far better window. We've left it too late, and when you leave it late, you leave yourself desperate. Oh, where's the overlap? Oh, it's a good job there. It's a good job that was a bad pass. Is Ighalo a big fat? Is Ighalo a big fat empty pile of shit? Says Girton. I'm not allowed to say that sort of thing. Brandon Williams turning back inside every time he gets the ball is starting to annoy me, even when he has an acre of room to run into, says Gav Lines. Well, he played a good ball into Mata there, to be fair. But he's so right. I mean, look, if we get Tellez, we'll never see Brandon Williams at left back again. So I don't even care that Brandon Williams is playing left back tonight. I don't care if he has the game of his life. You know, if you get Tellez, we'll never see him there again. Hopefully we'll see him at right back. But 20 minutes gone. If we don't get Sancho, what will we do when Igalo goes or are we going to get a striker that we can rely on? Says Jacob Hurley. He says Eric Bay's looking sharp. How are you, Mark? Says Ash G. Question, where do you think the starting team put out tonight would finish in the league? I think they'd be in the bottom half, mate. It's a very good question, actually. Where do you think this starting lineup here would finish in the Premier League? Because I think that I think we'd be bottom half. I don't know whether we'd get relegated, but we would be bottom half. Lovely ball by Van der Beek there. There's Mata. Definitely looking a bit sharper tonight. Much better than we did against Luton. Hi Mark, I love the show. I've lost your super chat now. Will you shout out Hayley Kavanagh? We will get Sancho, by the way. Amateur negotiating tactics by the Bard. 90% all day, says Thomas Mendenhall. Hello to Hayley Kavanagh. And the window should have been put in place in at least January, says Mark Holder. And Mark, yeah, we've done that one. Okay, so we're all up to date there. Thanks for all the super chats. Nice ball into Igalo. Terrible pass by Igalo. He's just so off the pace. Even that ball there, it comes into his feet from Fred. It's just a simple little pass to Van der Beek, and it's too heavy. Are you live streaming the Champions League draw tomorrow, says Killian? Yes, I am. Corner to Brighton here. I tell you what, this has been one of the most stressful games I've ever done a watch-along for. Trying to watch a game, but also watching major Manchester United transfer news come in, like from Fabrizio saying that we're all in on Dembele. It's bloody... I tell you what, no wonder we're all tired. Mark, checked Fabrizio's tweet about Dembele. Jerome, watch the channel. Like, we've been talking about it for 10 minutes. What are you doing? You must have the hairdryer on. Sorry if you're bold. Don't want to be boldest. If Fergie was still here, he would have bought Harry Kane, no question, says Mark Holder. Lovely little turn there. Williams gets put on his arse. Headed away by Delo. Williams has got to learn to stop jumping in, whether he's at right back or left back. He does jump in a little bit too much. McTominay's header is crap there. Delo is out of position. Lindelof moves to right back quite well at the top of your screen there, because Delo is nowhere near the right back place here. Still 90% marks as Lucas Hart. Yes, I am. And Mark, in the end, all your eggs are in a basket guarded by a con man called Ed Woodward, who has let them in the sun to rot and be stolen by the Glazers, says JJ. Oh, mate, it's my fault if we don't sign Sancho, apparently. But good cross there. Henderson's got hold of it. Joel says Fred is very average. But you know what? In general, I think United have done well tonight. This is not our first team, and none of these players are going to play at the weekend. But I think we've done all right. I think we've moved the ball around okay. Mark, if I was you, I'll skip the match reaction for this game tonight and do a live reaction to Romano's update. It's clear we were all distracted by it, says Andrew C. That will be spoken about in the match reaction, don't worry. Are we now going for an injury-prone left-back on loan next, says Akil Rashid. I mean, look, I'll give you a little bit of an exclusive here, in fact. So, let me just give you this while we're live. This is Ousmane Dembele's injury record, and this is why I'm not one of those people going, oh yeah, get Ousmane, he's a right baller, right? This is in the last, well, I can do it from a year ago if you want, but let's do it from January 2019, right? From January 2019, he had an ankle injury in January 2019, so 18 months ago, January, ankle injury, misses 5 games. Comes back, March, he has a muscle injury and he's out for 4 games. Then in May, he has a hamstring injury and he's out for 42 days and misses 4 games. In August, at the start of last season, he has another hamstring injury straight after the other one and he's out for 5 games, 35 days. He then comes back in September, gets another muscle injury. He then comes back in February and gets another muscle injury and is out for 15 games this year. And then he comes back in... he comes back in February, having been out for 15 games. 2 days later, injures his hamstring again, and he's out for 19 games. This season, this calendar year, he came into the calendar year with a bad injury to a muscle, came back for 2 days and got another injury on his hamstring that put him out for the rest of the year. He's only just come back. He's missed, loads of this season. Good save by Dean Henderson there from a shot. So the injury record's not a joke. I think people say, oh, Goldbridge and co are just saying he's injury prone. It's appalling. And it's actually got worse. Over the last 18 months, it was like misses 5 games, misses 5 games, misses 5 games. His last 2 injuries were this year, 15 games he missed between last November and February, came back 2 days later, misses 20 games with a hamstring injury. He's not even injury prone, he's just injured. That's what he is. I don't get for the life of me how Manchester United can seriously be looking at this deal. I don't get it at all. It's one of the worst injury records I've ever seen. He's only 23. He's got hamstrings like a bloody breadstick, and our fitness department is one of the worst in the league. You know, basically, Ed Woodward's there. He's got a really bad injury record, but it will save us a load of money and I can get us a load of dividends. What do you think you can do in the injury department? Well, it's like Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. Hello, everybody. You know, I'll buy you a new packet of plasters. Just make sure he plays a few games. It's got absolute disaster written all over it. Can you call me Arsenal housemate Georgia Pratt, says Thomas Bradbury. I think he's suffering enough. And how many times does Fred back pass the ball? We're not quick enough with the ball, says Dan Hunt. And signing Sancho is a statement of intent, especially in the Champions League. Signing Dembele doesn't have the same effect. No ambition at all, says Connor. And if we sign Dumbbell, he will miss the loan due to injury, says Shad Hart. Well, I don't know. Well, if he gets through a medical, it'll be the first time he's been fit this year. It's all a smokescreen, Mark. We're getting Sancho, says Venkat. I remain 90% club. I don't think United could be that stupid to sign Ousmane Dembele. Because it would be stupid. Absolutely stupid. You know, let's pretend that Lionel Messi was injury prone throughout his career. I wouldn't want him at United. And people say you're stupid, but no. You may as well have Marcus Albrighton, if he can play 40 games a season, than have Messi, who will only play 4. I don't know whether people agree with that logic, but Lionel Messi is one of the world's best ever players, and Marcus Albrighton is just okay. But I would rather have Marcus Albrighton at United than Messi, if Messi can only play 4 games in a season and Albrighton can play 40, because, you know, you need a player on the pitch. The Dembele story could be to get Sancho to react and push for the move, says Mark Webster. It could be. Long shot there, I think, from Fred. Not a very good one, but in this weather, it might have slipped in. Not to jump the gun here, but Bay and Lindelof have looked solid so far, says Tejas. It is only by fluke that they're playing together, because I think Harry Maguire would have played if he had been fit. He's got a bit of a knock, apparently. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's going to be a very, very interesting next few hours. We will be obviously live after this game talking about transfers. next few days. So make sure you subscribe and you've got your notifications on. That coat that Ollie's wearing looks crap. It's like half and half. Orange Adidas one side, white on the other. I don't like it. I don't like it. Frederick Fieldvet has said, no drama in this Ousmane Dembele story. Not so easy to get wise to United's strategy, but Sancho is still first choice. Dembele is plan B. Mark, and that's in the Spanish league. Imagine how worse that injury record is going to be in a tougher league. Don't want Dembele, says Chris Ozig. And Williams and Delo have been poor, says Lee Taylor. And Mark, any chance the medical staff would pick up the injury history, or is it just more of a formality in general when players have them, says Eric Boschan. And Fred goes backwards because he has no options. McTominay should not be playing for United, or does he? He's disappeared today, says Pumpkin Spice Latte. I was just about to tweet about that, in fact. I mean, look, I think McTominay could have a future as a CDM. No, oh, God, take that back. They're going to clip that. Oh, that was a slip of the tongue. No, I think McTominay could have a future as a box-to-box midfielder. He's not a centre defensive midfielder. He's just not. Mata switches the play to Brandon Williams. Watch what he does. All on his right foot. Oh, look, I told you. Bloody first thing he wants to do is control it with his right foot. You're a left back, mate. Use your left foot. Terrible ball by Dan James, that. I don't know how Ricky can say that Dan James has got football intelligence. Oh, Brighton are on the attack here. Oh, Eric Bay's done a great job there. I'm not washing my jumper until the transfer window's open. I can't wash anything at the moment apart from my arse. Because otherwise that's just unhygienic. Apart from Sancho, if James goes on loan to Leeds, can Dembele replace him? Dembele plus Sancho wages equals Sanchez wages anyway, says Darshan. You know what, Darshan? We shouldn't be looking at Ousmane Dembele. It's a bad idea. It doesn't matter whether he's a loan deal. It doesn't matter whether he's a replacement for James and we still get Sancho. We shouldn't be looking anywhere near it. Come on, 7 minutes ago and all I've heard is moan, moan, moan. Goodness gracious, says Vince's viewpoint. What's there to be happy about, Vince? Please enlighten us with your positivity. Clearly not a United fan if you're happy with what's going on at the moment. I think in relation to the game, it's not been terrible from United. One or two, I think the problem we've got is McTominay's not a CDM, and interestingly, he's actually swapped with Fred, which might help. See, that's a terrible ball by Fred. Yeah, we haven't. I think we haven't got a CDM, and the striker's crap, so it makes it quite difficult for us to do anything. Hi, Mark. What's your honest opinion on Dan James? He showed glimpses of talent in the start of last season. What has happened since? Says Jack Jones. Yeah, I think Dan James, and look, Ricky's going to hate this, and I respect it, Ricky, but he hasn't got any football intelligence, in my opinion. The easiest explanation I can use about Dan James is, and it's only one instant, but it replicates itself all the time. We had a game at Old Trafford last year. I can't remember who it was against, and he had the ball on the edge of the penalty box. Bruno Fernandes is 5 yards to his right in space, and Bruno Fernandes is right-footed. On his left, with two players near him, is Luke Shaw. He gives the ball to Luke Shaw. Now, I like Luke Shaw, but in that situation, you can get the ball to Bruno Fernandes, who's right-footed and you're attacking midfielder, but you decide to give it to Luke Shaw, who's got two players on him. That's football intelligence, because anybody with football intelligence gives that ball to Bruno. Bruno's the creator, and you can give him a pass onto his strong foot where he can whip a cross in, do a 1-2, he's on the edge of the box. But you give it to Luke Shaw. Not everybody's got football intelligence, and unfortunately Dan James, in my opinion, hasn't got it. Can he learn it? Yes, he can, but he hasn't got it. Are the players really this bad, or do we have to start looking at the coaches, not just Ollie, because they look absolutely lost, says Justice O. And Dembele has been so injured in La Liga. How on earth could people hope he will be good in the Premier League, which is way more physical, says Joskin. Why does Lindelof need 100 mistakes before he gets dropped, but 1 mistake for Bay and he's doomed? Bay is so much better again, says Chelsea. And he was the one for whom Martial doesn't have a World Cup medal. Do you think signing him will do well with Martial? Shambolic management, utter disgrace, says Shiam. Don't be too negative, everybody. You know, apparently we've got no reason to be negative from that comment we had before. How is Delo playing, says Keegan Fernandez. Good run by Brandon Williams here. I don't know why the ref hasn't given a foul on Brandon there, but Fred's got to win that, and he puts it out for a throw. 35 minutes gone. That wasn't a foul on Brandon Williams. You fouled him, mate. Watch this. You fouled him. He didn't foul you. Hi, Mark. Sorry, I've missed that comment now. He just said, hi, Mark. Can you please do something? Probably call somebody a prat. Denzel says it's a negotiating tactic with Dembele. I remain 90%. Don't worry about that. And Mustafa says that defence is much better when Bailly plays. Oh, that's a poor ball. Kick out by Dean Henderson, and it's led to Brighton. And he shoots over the top. That is not a good kick out by Dean Henderson, and it put us into a lot of problems there. I still think you need to close him down better, but McTominay, again, just gets bypassed. Fred doesn't put the tackle in. It's poor. It's a poor kick out by Dean Henderson, but to be honest with you, McTominay and Fred, he goes past 3 players and gets a shot in there. Yeah, Dean Henderson's kick's not great, but you've got to deal with that. He's on the touchline when he gets that. Poor from Fred. Poor from McTominay. Welcome to the Members Club, Just Eat. Thanks for joining. Imagine if it was the real Just Eat. Get us some food. Garlo loses the ball again. This is crap, says Richard Bonzel. I don't think United, in fairness, I don't think United have been terrible tonight. I think the problem is the striker, it's like playing with 10 men again. And the CDM thing doesn't work. Do you think Henderson will get a chance in the Champions League group stage, says Jacob Hurley? I think he's probably been promised games in the Champions League, yeah. And as I said before the game, it's a thankless task for Donny van der Beek. You know, again, he's having to play. And I do agree with this because it's happened before. Donny van der Beek is having to play with Agarlo, Dan James, Juan Mata, Fred and McTominay. You put Donny van der Beek with Martial, Rashford, Bruno, you're going to see a different Donny van der Beek. You know, you're only as good as the players around you. If you play a 1-2, like he made a run off Agarlo, that Agarlo should have played him in and he would have had a shot on goal. You're only... You know, you put Messi in a Stoke team, unless he scores individual brilliant goals, which he can, you're not going to see the best of Messi. You're not even going to see half a good team. Do you think Dembele's better than Sancho when he's fit? You know what? Can I just be a bit controversial here? Dembele, when he's fit, playing to his potential, has the potential to be one of the best right wingers in the world. I don't dispute that. But I don't really care either, because you can't buy a player because if he's fit and playing to potential, he's one of the best right wingers in the world. He's flopped at Barcelona. He's got a horrific injury record, and there's questions about his mentality, and he doesn't want to come to United, but we're begging him to do it. It's just got so many warning signs that a club that's meant to be trying to close a gap on a team that's well run like Liverpool shouldn't do. United haven't even been put their first bid in yet, says Michael Southcombe. If United sign Sancho, Mark's probably going to make a 90% t-shirt, says Lewis Prenditt. I should have made one already, really. Did somebody say? Anyway, Brighton on the attack here. Good tackle by Mata, actually. What's he going to do with it? Needs to move it quicker. Plays it into Fred, who should have turned there because he's gone backwards again. Fred does pass backwards a hell of a lot, doesn't he? Here's Mata. Nicely into Williams. First touch. Took it with his left, but he's back on his right. And it's a sideways pass. That pass from Brandon Williams doesn't help. Gives it to Juan Mata. He's got to go backwards. Please subscribe if you're new, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Loads going on with United at the moment. And we'll be doing a lot of videos over the next few days. And we'll be doing an hour after this show tonight talking about transfers. Good shot there. And it's just over the bar from Brighton. Five minutes to go to half time. Yeah, please subscribe if you're new, by the way. We're only 50 subscribers away from 851,500. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. We're live every morning at 10 a.m. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We're live for every match an hour before until an hour afterwards. We've got player ratings for you to vote on in the second half through the website. Interactive, always trying to find ways to be more interactive. That's the United stand. We say it how it is. You're very welcome. If you are new, I almost, it's a bit like Christmas for you. You're going to absolutely love it. So subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And as I say, make sure you do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, because we're going to be going live at odd times over the next 5 days. And if you want instant reaction and chat, then this is the place to be. Good tackle by Brandon Williams there, but Brighton pick it up. I mean, remember, this is Brighton reserves as well. Aiden Papwith, thanks for the sticker there. What is it? Was it Dembele who missed the chance to put Barcelona at 4-0 up at home against Liverpool in the Champions League? Oi, oi. Yes, it was. And if we get Dembele, I will genuinely throw up all over myself and then cry myself to sleep. Have a shower first, Tejas. And I think we need to add... Did somebody just say just eat to the Goldbridge bingo card in your head now, isn't it? Says Loz. It is. It is. Whoever joins the members club and called themselves Just Eat, you've absolutely got me with the gimmick. And you're probably not even Just Eat. Hi Mark, if I remember correctly, when Dembele first had surgery, the doctor messed up and injured him worse. Also 2.5 years and 63 games missed. Oh my God. That's terrible. Mark, what would Mark do if we signed Pepe from Arsenal? I'd rather have Pepe than Dembele or Sarr. I checked social media for the first time today here in the US, and first tweet I see is Romano saying we're talking Dembele. This is the next level of stupid, says Nakul. Well, I can tell you how many games Ousmane Dembele has missed in the last this year. Foul on Juan Mata there. That would be a yellow card. Burn. He's a left back who plays. He's a centre back playing at left back. He's a donkey, really. It's the perfect player for Mata to play against. So, since the beginning of January 2019, he's missed 9, 13, 19, 34, 53 games. 53 games in 18 months he's missed. McTominay! It's 1-0 to Manchester United. McMayo heads it home. And that's a cracking goal and a cracking ball in. You could see it coming. And it's McTominay who heads it in. The height of the Scottish midfielder for Manchester United. And he heads it in. And let's have a look. Juan Mata, not offside. Lovely ball by Mata. McTominay is free. I think Eric Bailly was trying to head McTominay in with it. Man of steel. But a lovely cross by Mata. And Manchester United are 1-0 up. And to be fair, McTominay's not going to miss that. Lovely, lovely cross by Mata. And it's 1-0 to Manchester United. So there you go. Sit down, haters. Bit of positivity, you know, we need that. A little bit of positivity for United. Come on. I know there's a lot going off the pitch, and I know we're all very, very stressed, but, you know, we want to win some bloody football games at the end of the day, don't we? That's a good bit of news there. Something to hold on to now, and I'm not talking about you know what. 1-0 Man United. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. And let's be fair, Juan Mata won the free kick as well. I mean, Juan Mata will be wishing he was playing against a slow centre-back at left-back every week. Burn. Where's Delo here? Sucked in. Get back onto that right-hand side. He's crap for Brighton, isn't he? What's his name? He's absolutely shit. I don't know who he is. Super chat from United's usage of Mata over the last 5 years is the biggest tragedy of the post-Fergie era. Class player whom we ran off into the shadows, says Tejas. And Mata's rolling back the years. Give him some love, says Sean Finity. I think he's played well today. And what are Fred and McTominay doing midfield? Fred is passing backwards or giving the ball away. McTominay is absent-minded. You see, I think McTominay's threat. I think as a box-to-box midfielder, he might have a future. He's just not a CDM. And that's what I think. I must take a note of that for the match reaction, actually. Mark, are you glad Bruno has been rested, says Salah Ahmed. I think Bruno's one of the players that it doesn't really matter if he gets rested. 5 Cantonas, 4 Cantonas, 3 Cantonas, 2 Cantonas, and an Eric Cantona, says Mark Holder. A bit early, but, you know, it works. Welcome to the Members Club, Brian Tong. And if this performance isn't down to poor coaching, what could it be, regardless of the score, says Texas C. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. We're winning 1-0. Stop trying to find fault when we're winning games. Like, you know, are Brighton pulling up any trees? Everyone says Harry Potter's a great manager. We've got almost, you know, none of those are first team players, and we're winning 1-0 at half time. You know, I said not to expect anything great because I think a lot of those players aren't great. Simple cross from there, open play, says Denver Moat. And another super chat from Texas C says, if this performance isn't down to poor coaching, I've done that one. Boring. Fred, Williams and James are championship level, says the Hunster. And this is the best these players can perform. No one can pull off something better than third this with them, says Locomotive. So, we're 1-0 up at half-time. We will delve into the transfer stuff because I'm going to flex on in a minute. But 1-0 up at half-time. Look, Igalo for me has been the invisible man again. He's trash. McTominay is not a centre defensive midfielder. And how ironic that we get him further up the pitch from a free kick and he scores a goal. I mean, look, I would have scored that goal. The cross from Mata is brilliant. And the timing of the run by McTominay and Bay is brilliant. It beats the offside trap. So one of them were going to score that. I think Eric Bay wanted to score, so he tried to head McTominay into the goal. So we're 1-0 up. I think we deserve to be 1-0 up. I even put in my notes, I think United have done okay in that half. Much better than Luton. And look, Brighton are a Premier League side playing their reserves as well. So look, you can't be too negative about United. But I think I do feel sorry for Donny van der Beek. I think he's having to play with players that are not of his level. Dan James lacks football intelligence. Mata is too far away from Donny van der Beek. And then he's got Fred and McTominay and Igalo around him. How is he supposed to give... Donny van der Beek, if you've ever seen him play for Ajax or Holland, he's a give-and-go player. He's a triangle player. He likes the little 1-2s. He ain't going to get those with the players that are around him. So I feel sorry for Donny van der Beek. But we have looked decent-ish in that half. And we're 1-0 up at half-time. And it was a well-worked goal. But if you're expecting, you know, dirty dancing or something like that, you're not going to get it with those players on the... But not dirty dancing. What am I on about? If you're expecting, you know, the best musical ever of, you know, construction and fluidity, and magic in your eyes. You're not going to get that from those set of players, because none of those are first team players at the moment, are they? And many of them never will be. So but we're 1-0 up. It's Manchester United playing a game, and I would say that if we can win this game and get through this tie, it's all confidence. It's all good. The transfer window is something else. What's going on in the transfer window is something else. But surely we all want to win, and surely that's from that set of players, that's not too bad a half. How much have you changed since your youth? Like, have you been a bully since then? Says Luke Henry. Oh God. I've made a super chat. Look at me. I'm going to say something really, really good that's going to make me look really good. I mean, I shouldn't even read it out. I don't even know what you're talking about, mate. You don't know me, and you're just talking out your arse. I wish I'd never read that, by the way. But we move on.
Say, Mark, don't get triggered.
I'm not going to get triggered. It's just silly. I shouldn't have read it. Welcome. Thank you for the super chat from Kanishka. Please subscribe if you're new, by the way. Absolutely loads going on. We're literally 10 minutes into that game, Flex, and Fabrizio Romano tweets that United are going in for Ousmane Dembele.
90%.
90%. Bloody I'm still 90%. I am still 90%. Do you know what?
So now, you're so 90%, you're even going against Fabrizio now.
I am going against Fabrizio. But look, interestingly, Fred's been terrible, says Sam. We'll talk about the game in a moment, but let's just, let's go with the news that, everybody wants to talk about this. Flex is going to be live after my match reaction with KG and guests, and I think a lot of that you're going to be talking about transfers, to be fair. But who do you think was better signing, Van Persie or Bruno? Weird question, BW5. Too early to judge. Van Persie won as a title. But interestingly, I was just about to tweet it and McTominay scored, actually. In the last 18 months, Dembele has missed 53 games. Now, considering 3 months of that was last summer and 3 months of that was COVID, he's missed 53 games in 12 months through injury. What do you think about that? I mean, I just can't. I can't get my head around. It has to be a smokescreen. Why? How can? We've got the worst medical department in the world.
They're probably laughing. They're probably saying, Dortmund are probably saying, good, yeah, talk to Dembele. Talk to him, because you're not getting Sancho. So good for you.
Well, the plug just says, why are you so negative? Dembele's world class. And I'm bubbling up inside. Because it's like, I don't care. I said this in the game then. If I could sign Lionel Messi or Marcus Albrighton, and I was told Messi will only play 4 games for you because he's injury prone, but Marcus Albrighton will play 40, I would buy Albrighton. But I would. If somebody told me that, I would, because what's the point in having Messi for 4 games?
Going to happen with Dembele. Yeah, look, it's going to be...
It's not about ability, is it? That's what I'm saying. It's not about ability. It's about bloody facts. He's only 23.
How about this? Forget the injury record. How about this? You can't forget this bit. Man United also contracted player's agent, put in so much effort to convince the player, who already refused to join Liverpool on loan in June.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even really want to leave Barcelona. Or not to come to the Premier League. He doesn't even look like he's hungry to do it.
I think that's the worst thing as well, Flex, as well. Because whatever people think about Ollie, he's always said, I only want players here who want to come here. And that's worked over the last year. Bruno wants to be here. Dan James, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, they want to be here. Exactly. Oh, we haven't got Sancho who wants to be here. So let's go and beg a player who doesn't want to be here with a terrible injury record. Because we're desperate.
All he's seen is us going after Sancho for ages and trying to get him. This is what I mean. This is where it feeds into any player we go and get now is knows completely that they are the second choice. They're the backup dancer. Do you know what I mean?
Well, people are saying it's like Di Maria, but it's not. It's like Di Maria and Phil Jones's love child.
No, Di Maria just played in a cup final before we got him, and he was the best player on the park.
Yeah, he didn't want to come. He had a bad attitude because he didn't want to be here. But, we're not only getting a player who doesn't want to be here. The only way you're getting him to come here is say, "Oh, we'll give you." It's the old money excuse again, isn't it? Oh, we'll pay you a load of money, Alexis Sanchez,
and make him go. Oh, go on then. It's only a 9-month loan. It's only for the season. Go on
it's
then.
It's bad. I think it's
get injured after 5 games. Look, I keep saying it. He does have ability, but the injuries is just too much of a concern. He doesn't. He's already turned down Liverpool on loan in June. He clearly doesn't sound like he wants to come to the Premier League, and it just stinks of panic. It stinks of panic, man.
It's sickening, really.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I Again, I don't want to. You never know when you like this, because you can sometimes end up with the player, and then you got to go, well, you know what, we've had your say on him, and we know what we think, but he's our player now, which he's not. I'm just saying, you got to try and have a little bit of belief that if you do gamble, that the gamble will pay off. But make no mistakes of how big the gamble is. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it is such a big gamble to roll the dice.
And we shouldn't be doing that. We should. No. We're trying to close a gap on Liverpool and Man City. What the hell are we doing? Taking high-risk gambles? Yeah. Well, the thing is, interesting thing is, Atletico Madrid are selling Lamar, and Bayern Munich and somebody else want him. Why are we not in for Lamar? Like, I don't rate Lamar.
He was going to go to Arsenal for ages.
Yeah,
but we can't just. But just because Barcelona, Bayern Munich are interested, I know there's like this thing of he's good enough for us, he's good enough for them, but he could just be going to sit. Well, he probably would just be going to sit on their bench.
Yeah,
they got Koeman and Gnabry. It's like, this is the player who potentially we want to come in and start the Jadon Sancho role, and now we're slowly getting less and less and less, I suppose.
Sheikh says Flex said he won't be saying "I told you so" if we don't sign Sancho, but now after Fabrizio's tweet, he comes straight on shouting 90% sit down. Sancho is coming, Flex. There you go. It's not my words, Sheikh's words. How ironic to have an 80 million defender not playing and our defence looks calm and composed. Well, we're going to talk about the game, Kanishka. Dembele could be a ploy to make Jadon push for a move, says Tony. Dembele is class, but it's now or never for Sancho. There'll be too many options next year. The real test will be against Tottenham. Hope Bailey is given an opportunity. Got to start Pogba, Donny and Bruno. Need to test that combo, says Cruz23. If we got Dembele, would we use him or would he rot away on the bench, says Joel Morris? No, he'd be fine. He'll be having a chat with Phil Jones every week in the injury room. And Fabrizio said Barca will consider Memphis Depay if Dembele goes the other way. Wouldn't Depay be a better option than Dembele? Well, yeah. I don't want Dembele back. I'm sorry, I don't want Memphis back, but I'd take Memphis over Dembele every day of the week. It's just crazy, isn't it?
You should know, can put in a
and also, you've got to look at... I mean, this is there is another angle on it. Forget the injuries, forget the desperation, forget the fact that it's not who Oli wants. Barcelona are willing to let Dembele go because they think they're getting somebody better in Memphis. So we're taking scraps again. What are we doing? And look, we're not even taking scraps from a decent team. I think United would beat Barcelona. I don't think Barcelona are very good. So we're taking scraps from...
Whoa, hold on, Mark.
They're not. They're not. If you've seen Barcelona recently...
I have. No, they're going for a massive transition. They're going for a massive transition, but I don't think we're good enough yet to say that we reckon we'll beat them.
Dembele is more injury prone than my gran. I would actually take the pie back at the club because if you remember, he accepted his time here was bad, so he still might want to come back. Says Ronald. Well, we're not looking at Memphis anyway. No, and my grandmother is 90, and she still has more strength than from the bench as Dishant. There you go. What was your thoughts on that game? I mean, just to give mine, I just thought Ighalo was useless again, and I don't think McTominay's a centre defensive midfielder, and I think that has. I thought apart from that we didn't do terrible considering this is the reserves and they're not going to have any fluidity. I thought we moved the ball around okay, but I think it's always going to be difficult when Ighalo is just it's like playing with 10 men. He can't even hold the ball up.
Yeah, he just doesn't. He just don't look sharp. Like I said, after the lockdown, man, he just looks like he can't move. He's really rusty. And look, I get it. He's a player who doesn't play a lot of the time, so you can't ask him to. I think probably we all got a bit carried away when he kept stepping in. Every time he kept stepping in to play in the Europa League or cup games or whatever, he would score or play quite well, look like a decent little alternative, and a few little cameos in the Premier League. But I think just the trueness of, that is starting to wear off now. He's not good enough. No. And he's going to be gone in January as well, really, isn't it? They only
it's just the backup, is it? I mean, that's the thing, you see us being linked to Jovic and Cavani, and you suddenly think, you know what, I wish we could do one of those deals, because Ighalo, if we got an injury to Martial and we've got to play Ighalo, I really worry about what's going to happen to us. And there's no we don't have a youth striker. There isn't a youth striker that you can go, let's pull Rashford out of nowhere. There isn't. Well, never say never, but there's nobody who's obviously in the youth to come and play up front. So he's a real concern.
Yeah, it is. Before we used to have like quite a few youngsters coming up who could play in that position, and it doesn't seem to be happening. So we need to go and get one. Because I said, look, we're going to be in exactly the same position in January when Ighalo goes and we don't have a striker. And forget us. Look how we're carrying on now. forget us spending big in January or spending in January. I mean, we were saying that the other day. Forget that window. Jesus. It's so close as well because this one shuts in October. It just shouldn't even be there, really, should it?
Yeah.
But no, just on the rest of the game, I said that team was performing before that goal happened. It was performing exactly how we would expect it to. A mishmash of players thrown together, the second string, the slightly better players in that team, like your Mata, like your Van der Beeks, can't really get any fluidity. But and Brighton just looking so comfortable. We were just moving the ball so slow. Like, Fred was literally walking with the ball one time, receiving it off the centre backs, just chilling.
Yeah.
No tempo. Delo just looks. I haven't got any words. He again, because you can't really blame him. He's just not been in the like for Delo to come in and have not a great game. You can't go, what's he doing there? He hasn't played in ages. He's out the plans. Probably surprised to even be starting. Playing this game knowing that even if he plays well and gets 2 assists, he's just nowhere near being involved. And midfield, McTominay hasn't really looked great before that goal. Good header, to be fair to him, but didn't look great. Fred, not great.
I think McTominay's more of a threat in an advanced position.
Yeah, because he's not a holding midfielder.
Not a holding midfielder. I'm not saying he's not a United player as a box to box, but as a holding player, he just ain't got it.
No, it's just not him. And to be fair, people say Matta's legs is gone. I was saying Matta's going to get caught by him. He's going to get done because Dan Burns just big and long, isn't he? Yeah. He's not fast, but he's just got bigger stride and he's done well.
Matta's loving it, isn't he? He's got somebody who can actually beat for pace once.
Yeah, I said to my cousin, if you get beat by Matta for pace, you're in trouble. But he's about 9 foot tall, Dan Burn, in it. But and a great ball in from Matta. So the 2 moments he's had, the 2 moments of the game, to create the chance, to get the chance by himself, to win the free kick and to execute it, get the assist. So in them 2 games, in 2 games he's played, he's having an influence on him.
Well, we said, didn't we, at the start of the game, hopefully, because I think Morpay will come on for them. I think they'll bring some of their first teamers on. I think hopefully United now will bring Pogba on.
We need to do that.
And maybe
I was literally looking at it saying, before that goal happened, that game stunk of, Ollie's just going to bring the big boys on here and then kill this out. You know what I mean? But at least we got a goal to go off now.
Flex should do a forfeit if Sancho signs. I think either or. Give us ideas of forfeits, because if Sancho signs, he can do a forfeit, and if Sancho doesn't sign, I can do a forfeit. So I'm up for that. Okay. Flex is going to be live after my match reaction. I think you got KG and guests on. I think a vast majority of that, everyone, will be transfer talk. A little bit about the game, but I think we spent most of that first half, Flex, talking about transfers. So I think most of your time will be talking about... In fact, let's just call it the Sancho or Dembele show. So that will be Flex and guests after the match reaction. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot to get into because this looks like it's going to be just... I was sitting there watching it thinking, I just can't... You always want to see us win. I want us to win, but it's just such a...
I think as soon as that Romano tweet hit, it was like...
and then I saw that and I was just like, I'm not even going to tweet it now because the game's on, but I'm looking more at that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll see you on that show in a bit, and cheers, pal, for that.
Well,
think about your forfeit.
Nice one.
I'll have a think too.
Yeah, you need to.
Speak to you in a bit, mate. So at Flex United on Twitter to give him a follow on there. Second half has kicked off. No changes for United yet. Ollie never really does substitutions at half time unless there's an injury. Haaland's just scored against Bayern. What could have been, I suppose, says Bryce Jones. Well, Dortmund took the win on that one, didn't they? Why do we press like crap? No organisation from front to back. I'm Ollie in all the way, but this seems like freewheeling it. What has James Delo and McTominay done before the goal? James has been very quiet, actually, hasn't he? Surely the board isn't this naive in considering Dembele over Sancho. One in, which is at the top of their game, the other sitting on the sidelines, says Joe Dawson. Welcome to the Members Club. Hector Sturrock, thanks for joining. You can do that by clicking the join button. And talk about injury-prone players. We should have taken Bale rather than Mbele. At least Bale does not get that injured. We would still play Greenwood, says Ronald Jacob. And Akil says, I'll completely lose my temper if I see Woodward sitting in Old Trafford on Sunday without completing any signings. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. Anyway, game's kicked off, second half. I think Delo's... Oh, my God. Delo has just been turned massively there. Shocking defence by Delo there. He just got beat for pace. I mean, that is just terrible. They're showing it back there. I mean, that tackle by Eric Bailly could have been a bloody red. He gets the ball, but it's one hell of a tackle, that is. It's one of those where you've got to get the ball. It was a mad tackle by Bay, but he made the tackle. That's what I would say. Mark Checkfield Vet's tweet says Dan Hoods. I have seen it. You know, he's basically saying it's just all part of the ploy. That Pereira from West Brom looks amazing. Maybe depth, says Matthew Nolan. I did say on That's Football that the best player that West Brom have got is that Pereira player, not to be confused with Andreas by any means. So, settling for the second half. Mark, serious question. Has Delo ever put in a performance at right back that made you think we have a real prospect here? He's the definition of average, says Dean Curlow. I think going forward, he's put good crosses in, but defensively, he's always been suspect, hasn't he? Very good point there from Screenboy. He says that Eric Bailly injury incoming. I nearly said we're all lactating over that Eric Bailly tackle. I don't know where that word came from, but we're certainly not. Maybe no, we're just definitely not. More pace coming on for Brighton. We're all applauding that amazing tackle by Eric Bailly. That if he gets it wrong, he gets a red card and it's a penalty. But that's why he gets injured so much. He chucks his body in the way of things. That's why he gets injured, because he puts his whole body. He basically just blasts into it just chucks his whole body into everything, and that's why you leave yourself exposed. Mark James has given us nout, says Rob Davies. Yeah, he's just not been able to get into the game, has he? Paul Robinson, one of our moderators, hope you're doing well. Paulie says that Morpay's just going to hug the left touchline and attack the low. I can see this going to penalties. I said 2-1, but I'd be surprised if Brighton don't score. Dembele started following Man United players Greenwood, Williams, Van der Beek, McTominay and Lindelof, the Sunshine Digital Media Agency. I did see that as well, yeah. Rambeer says, I've lost all interest in this match since I've seen Fabrizio's tweet about Dembele. I know it's causing a lot of people a lot of problems. We have got a live show tonight after my match reaction with Flex and guests. They'll be talking about transfers for about an hour, so you can vent and have all your thoughts on that then. But 45 minutes of this game to go. It's Fred. That's a nice ball by Delo actually into Agallo, who actually holds the ball up for once. Well done. Better from United, that. Thank you for the super chat from Harshad Lackey. Scouser here. Still can appreciate what you do for United. Mostly objective with other teams as well. Keep it up, says Callan. Thank you very much for the super chat, mate. I think you're going to absolutely walk this league this year. I think you're going to find it easier than last time. And McTominay's won a good free kick here. That if I was Juan Mata, I would be stepping up and saying, I'm going to hit this. It's windy and wet. Mark, do you still think we'll get Sancho after Fab's tweet? We've taken a quick free kick here, but the ref's not going to let us do that. That's from Ben. Yes, I do. And I'd like to see Paul Pogba on. So, yeah, Mata's going to be behind this. Delo has a better left foot than Williams, says Pete Squire. Well, Delo used to play left back for his previous club before we bought him. He didn't play many games, but he did play left back a lot. So Mata's on this free kick. Straight at the keeper, and he holds on to it. Bay may be wild, but he would give his heart and soul to cut a ball out before the attacker got it. He is what we are missing in centre-backs, says the perseverer. Well, I did say this after the game at the weekend, didn't I? I said there's only 2 players in that team that have got the Manchester United mentality where they will just keep running and putting their body on the line. One's Eric Bay. Is he good enough? But he has got that fight. And the other one is Bruno, who sometimes does worry me because of that. Brighton have got the ball here. And Lindelof trying to get a foul. So it's a free kick here for Brighton. Opportunity to put a cross in. Very similar to the situation that we had when Mata whipped the cross in and they scored. And we scored, sorry. If Real or Barcelona, let's just see what happens with this free kick and then I'll read Marcus's super chat. So cross whipped in, but terrible. Wasn't even a cross, he shot. Marcus, Makeda, Fisher, Harding says, if Real or Barca had bid for Haaland back in January, would he have gone to Dortmund? What makes United think that Sancho will come when Bayern, PSG, Real, Barcelona potentially come knock? No, this is a one chance to get Sancho. We won't get him next summer. Van der Beek in for Pogba versus Spurs. He's so intelligent and will score 10 plus goals, says Dan Middleton. Greetings from Mark. Greetings, Mark from Cape Town, South Africa. Unpopular opinion, Eric Bay is one of the best centre-backs in the league when fit, says Shad. Well, we've never seen that, Shad. We've never seen whether he's fit, is he? This supposed Dembele loan deal shows the lack of football knowledge in the clowns upstairs. Maybe he's been promised his own private medical room, says Callan. And Williams has the fight and the attitude, but Long John Silver has a better left foot, says Sean Finity. Yeah, he's just not a left back. Let's see what he can do on the right, I think. Well done, Delo there. And Henderson keeps it from going for a goal kick. So United can progress this forward a little bit. And so Williams. Well done by Donny van der Beek. United are progressing up the pitch here. It's not been pretty, but they're up down the right-hand side with Delo. It's a poor cross. Troy Deeney, when you play against a tough centre-half like Eric Bay, you think, oh, God, he's going to give me a whack, says A. Yeah, the trouble with that is he sometimes gives himself a whack. If he could just stay fit, I think that's the thing with Eric Bay, isn't it? That we would all agree with. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner, we're only 300 away from 852,000, so get involved with the channel. We've got loads of content for you to come still tonight. My match reaction, where we'll be doing the player ratings, and then an hour after that, we'll be doing, straight after that for an hour, we'll be talking about the latest Man United news and interacting live as well. Definitely this Sancho Dembele thing is going to go. Reese Bloomer says, check 2 Breezy's tweet. I don't know who that is, Reese Bloomer, so I'm not going to start reading out tweets of people I don't really know who they are or whether they're credible, I'm afraid. So I can't do that because I might just be reading something out that's a load of bollocks. Man United could do with a second goal here. You're the best, Mark. Our number 7, says Ben. Hopefully it will be Sancho. I've always liked Bailly. Can't see why, if he stayed fit, he couldn't become world-class like a faster Vidic type defender. Yeah, I think the issue is, can he stay fit again? I don't know. I don't actually think he can. If we haven't put in a bid yet for Sancho, why do you think United have opened talks with Dembele? To me, that makes no sense, says LGT 131. I suppose they're just getting their... They're just keep getting their... their backup ready, I suppose. Brighton are buzzing around the United box here anyway. Nice little ball. Still on the edge of the box. United look well positioned, but then it's over Williams on the back. Header comes back across and he was offside anyway. These linesmen have to take so long now. Lingard needs to come on for DJ, says Mark Whitten. Yeah, I think that would be something I would agree with. How reliable is Draughty and his guy X, says Manmir. They are pretty reliable. They are pretty reliable, yeah. There's certainly a lot of things I've been told from there, like the timing of Wan-Bissaka's signing, like 3 hours before it was made official. So, yeah. Gunnar here, but hard to see what's happening to United with the size of the club you have. American owners have destroyed what we both have here, says Bradley White. It's hard. It is hard for both clubs, you're right. Delo is getting really close to the centre-back as well. Makes me think it was tactics rather than Wan-Bissaka's mistakes, says Joshua Bowerwater. I mean, that's a very good point, Joshua. Very good point. Wan-Bissaka's got sucked in at the weekend, and Delo is getting sucked in as well. But Brighton's press is working here at the moment. I mean, look, how many shots on goal have United had this half? Or across the whole game. It's an equal game, but Brighton, for me, are the better footballing side in the second half. I saw their podcast and they're 100% about Sancho, says Manmit. And do you think Woodward loving this transfer window as doesn't have to deal with fans protesting in the stadium due to the lack of signings, says Jordan M. And hi Mark, who do you think looks like making top 4 this season, says Cruise23. Well, wait a minute, Brighton. Well, that's a terrible cross. Mata should deal with that. I think it will be United. I think it will be City and Liverpool, and then probably Chelsea and United. But I'm not. It's hard. It's hard at the moment, isn't it? Could be controversial opinion that's why Mata can't play right wing, takes a lot of touches, and then when the right back gets forward, he is double teamed with left back and left winger, so Salam Ahmed. And we need a left back for Shaw. Remember Shaw breaking his knee under Van Gaal? He was a goner then. Shaw's brain is there, but his body isn't, though he has the heart, says Arjun. It's a free kick here to Brighton for a foul that Mata's done, which I just can't see what he's done. I'd make a triple substitution. Yeah, I would take off Dan James and Ighalo for Greenwood and Lingard, and I would bring Pogba on for Fred. You see, that from James was rubbish. He gives it to Delo. He's got no one near him. Delo actually gets out of danger and plays a good ball into Fred. But there's no one coming for the ball here. Look at Dan James, Van der Beek and Ighalo there. All virtually holding each other's hand. There's no pass for Fred or McTominay to play because nobody's dropping to get the ball. Poor. Really, really poor. Don't need that. I have Ollie agenda. Just think bad no matter what, says Young King. And if Sancho doesn't come this season, our chance of getting him will be gone. I wish the board had the desire to get this deal done, says Ads. I still am 90%. I still think we're going to get the deal done. Stuart Reese says Pogba needs minutes. Yep. More pay. Nice little ball. Oh, I'll tell you what. Gross, nearly slipping somebody in there. Your confidence has turned into delusion, says Udish. Well, what are you on about? Maybe my confidence has turned into fatigue. I can't. How many times I've been saying 90% club for about 3 months? I can't. Maybe I should just try and do it in different moods. I'm 90% club. Showbiz. La 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 la. I'm 90% club. I can only say it. I've said it for so long. It's not a lie. We are so boring to watch. Every game is awful, says Sean Turner. If he was available, would you take Lozano at United as drummer, Austin? No. Trossard's coming on for them now. So they've got Morpé and Trossard on there. We've got to make some subs. They're strengthening the team and they've got the momentum of the performance as well. We've got to strengthen our team because they're going to score. They've got the momentum, they've got the possession, they're playing closer to our goal and now they're putting better players on. We've got to respond to that. Otherwise, we're going to lose this lead. These players will concede. He needs to change this up. Mata, that needs to go to Donny. That needs to go to Donny. Look at him in the middle. Now. Oh, for fuck's sake, Mata. Look at Donny van der Beek's run. Dan James is just going to hit that, isn't he? Why Mata? Why has Mata not seen that run from Donny van der Beek twice? And you can't use football intelligence as an excuse for Mata because he's got it in bucket loads. He's got intelligence. I don't know why he doesn't see that pass. Hi, Mark. Do you think Eric's injury problems would be rarer with a better medical team, or is it just an inherent trait, says Mihir? I think a lot of Eric Bailly's injuries come from the way he plays football. If you get up in the morning and run into a wall 3 times a day, there's a high chance you're going to break your arm. If you don't run into a wall, you're not going to break your arm. Eric Bailly's just got that personality where he doesn't mind putting his body into situations that might hurt him, which is a good mentality to have, but it also leads to you getting injured a lot. James on the right, definitely faster than Burns, says Abhishek. Well, 65 minutes. Subs too late again. Too late on the subs here. Pochettino's like this. I just tweeted it. Ollie reminds me of Poch. He sticks with things 10 minutes longer than he should. Doesn't matter what level of football knowledge you've got. It's very obvious for the last 10 minutes Brighton are on top. And Brighton have got the momentum. And they're bringing better players on. So the chances of Brighton scoring, you can look at football in a percentage chance. Brighton's chances of scoring at the moment are probably 70% and ours are 30%. So as a coach, that is a very good way to think because you are rolling the dice. Right, there might be no goals and we might get away with it 1-0. But if there's going to be another goal, there's a 70% chance it's going to go to Brighton and there's a 30% chance it's going to go to us. Now, how are you going to react to that? Are you just going to stick with it and hope that no goals scored, or are you going to try and equal up that percentage? For me, Paul Pogba coming on the pitch, Mason Greenwood coming on the pitch, which is what's about to happen. That will change the percentage of the game. So he's going to make the changes, but I just think it's a little bit late. It should have been done 5 minutes ago. At least it's going to be done though. Feel for Van der Beek. He plays with absolute crap players. Yep, I agree. Oh, see, Dan James there comes in to make the tackle, and the player ends up going past James and McTominay. Make the tackle or play the foul. That burns so slow. Pogba on for Scott, Lingard on for James, and Rashford on for Agallo. Need to get hold of this game before they equalise, says Jake Pennington. Exactly. Go straight to penalties if it's a draw. Oh, good save by Henderson. What a good save by Henderson. Trossard. I thought that was going to be 1-1. That would have been bad timing, but it's a fantastic save by Dean Henderson. You wonder how long De Gea is going to last in goal, don't you? I mean, Williams should stop that. Cut back. Delo's not marking his man. Fantastic save by Henderson. Corner to Brighton. And a header over the bar. See it. Let's have a look at this from behind. Yeah, that is a quality save. An absolutely quality save. And here come the changes. Pogba's got something on his arm. What's wrong with his arm? Elliot Shepherd says, I love the channel. Thanks for all your effort and commitment. James looks out of ideas and final pass is really poor. Thanks for the super chat, Elliot. Agalo's come off. Absolutely terrible. You'll be doing the player ratings. I wouldn't give him anything higher than a 4. Dan James is off as well. Dan James needs to go on loan and play week in, week out. And McTominay and Fred have no future here. Garner is better than them both, says Sean Turner. It's just sad. Our whole motivation for finishing third last season was so that we land Sancho. Says Mihir. And Everton look frightening with their business in the market. Also, what's the situation with Romero, says Harshad. I mean, I thought Romero would go, but if he doesn't go, then, you know, you're paying 80 grand a week for Romero, you're paying 140 grand a week for Hendo, you're paying 350 grand a week for De Gea. You know, you're basically paying 80 grand a week for a third choice goalkeeper. Like, most of Everton's first team won't be on that. It's ridiculous. The waste of money, the wastage at United is a farce, isn't it? On Sancho, Dembele, I'm doing my match reaction straight after this game, and then we've got an hour show with Flex and KG and everybody coming on, going to be talking about transfers. So, yeah, if you're interested in that, and I'm sure a lot of you are, then we've got you covered tonight. Straight after my match reaction, a big old chat about the transfer situation. So subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And of course, when a deal happens in the next few days, we will go live. So subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Here is betting on the attack again. He needs to get hold of that midfield. Here's Pogba. Oh, leaves the ball behind. Why did we get third place? Not coaching. Bruno coming in and every other team below us was awful. After 3 or 4 games we didn't play well and no one else did, says Leo Man United. Guys, please watch Scott. He makes zero effort to help in defence. Doesn't come to receive the ball either. I hope the tap-in doesn't cloud Ollie's view, says Bumpkin Spice Latte. I'm going to give McTominay a low score. I don't think he's played well. How can Ricky say James has potential? He's absolutely garbage. He maybe has no confidence, but I'm not surprised. He offers absolutely nothing, says Stephen Willocks. So Sancho isn't playing for Dortmund at the moment, says Jace. Bit slow sports news there from Jace, but no, he isn't. And Pogba's playing number 10, says Jake Pennington. No, Fred, we're sort of playing, yeah. So Van der Beek's gone to the left and Pogba's gone number 10. A lovely cross in from Brighton again, but 20 minutes to go. United need to get hold of this game a little bit. Player ratings will be there for you to vote very soon. I will let you know when I know, and I'll drop the link in the video description for you. Remember, you can mark every player who's played tonight out of 10, 6 being average, and then we will go through that on my match reaction at the end of the game. Lee Grant must be due 200 grand a week, says Robert McCorback. Mate, we're stacked with goalkeepers. The money that we're wasting, it is really, really silly. But Brighton are dominating this game at the moment. I think United might need a clean sheet. Sharp says, I work in a bookies in Burnley where Mike Phelan's brother is a punter. He says that Ed Woodward is confident that the next bid will be accepted by Dortmund for Sancho. Thoughts? Well, look, I mean, that could be a load of bollocks or it could be true. What I would say is, lovely switch of the play by Paul Pogba, is that there is a lot of confidence around a Jadon Sancho deal. But you can't ignore what Fabrizio Romano is saying about Dembele either. I'm 90% sure we'll sign Sancho. But look, anything can happen in a transfer window. Pogba looks a bit better tonight. I know he's only been on a minute or two, but he does look a little bit sharper on the ball. He looked miles off the pace on on the weekend. Mata! Yes! Get in! We're going through! Lovely. Mata for me, probably my man of the match tonight. Mata makes it 2. And Manchester United are heading into the next round. He's played really well tonight. Watch this back. Donny van der Beek. Fred. Donny van der Beek with the little flick. And Mata. Yes. That's a lovely... Look, watch this little flick by van der Beek. Into Mata. And then Mata just passes it home. Lovely goal. I like that. I love that. That's lovely. Flick by Donny. Magnificent. Lovely football by United, that. Move the ball around. Have it. Goal and assist by Mata as well. I'll have some of that. We're going through. Tough game to watch at times, but some of these players have stepped up to the plate. And I'd say Juan Mata is definitely one of those tonight. So, look, we can get through to the next round of the Carabao Cup and forget and focus on transfers now, which is nice. And Spurs at the weekend. Well, it's not over yet, though. It ain't over yet. Give the old man a cheer, says Sean Finity. What did I say about Mata? Yeah, I think Mata's been very good tonight. I think there's been some bad performances tonight, but I think Mata's been really good. The Don, says Pete Squire. And well, look what happens when you give Donny van der Beek better players around him. I said it at half time. He's got Dan James, Agarlo, McTominay and Fred, and Mata's too far away. Mata's in the box. Cut back. Oh, could have been 3. Pogba and Rashford have just changed the game. And here's Mata down the right-hand side again. Into Delo. Come on, we want 3. Back post cross. Oh, Pogba heads it wide. And now United are just dominating this game. And I was just tweeting that as well. You get the problem with Man United is the backup players. These are Garlos, the Dan James. They ain't good enough. They come off. Pogba and Rashford come on. Suddenly Mata and Donny van der Beek go up a level because they've got better players with them. It's not rocket science. You can't moan last season that the bench ain't good enough. And then this season, say, oh, well, it's bad coaching. He's using the backup players. They ain't good enough. Lovely stuff. We can sign Dembele and Sancho long season ahead, says Nick McCall. If Ollie gets sacked this season, what are choices to replace him, says Harsh. I'm not talking about that, Harshid. Thanks for the super chat, but I'm not talking about that. Ricky will have a little excitement. Now. Mata has scored and assisted tonight, says Daniel Brinley. Yeah, but he's got to defend Dan James, so it's a bit of a mixed sword for him. Donny, Pogba and Bruno have to be first choice in midfield, says Cruz, 23. You've got to get Matic in there as well, though, mate. Owentu says, Mark, please don't ever call Mata's name with the likes of Pereira, Lingard and co. He may be Ollie, but the class is on a different planet, mate. Mata can't do it in the first team. I'll stand by that. He can't do it in the first team. He is half the player he ever was. But when you put decent players around him against, Carabao Cup reserves, Mata still can do something. But he can't do it in the first team anymore. Only an idiot would think he could. And I don't think any of you are idiots. But, in this sort of occasion, when you can get him on the ball, he can do a job. I agree. Okay, let me... player ratings. You can do your player ratings now. So, mark every player out of 10, 6 being average. make sure you do every player and put a star on the player that's your man of the match, and then at the bottom it will say you can submit your score. So that's how you do it. UnitedStand.com. I'm just going to drop the link in the video description for you now. It's not there yet. You must mark every player in the manager out of 10, 6 being average, like I say. And then to be able to submit your score, you'll see a little star under every player. Put 1 star under your man of the match, then submit your score will become at the bottom. That's how you do it. 13 minutes to go then. 2-0 to Manchester United. Look, loads going on in relation to the transfers. We'll be talking about that after my match reaction show. We've got an hour special show after that. But nice to get the win tonight. I did say 2-1. Be nice to keep a clean sheet, especially for Dean Henderson. Oh, and please subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. We're only 200 subscribers away from 852. So thanks everyone who's been tuning in. Rashford on the run there, and I think that's a free kick to United, and it is, and it'll be a yellow card as well. Yeah, we're 200 subscribers away from 852,000, so please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. Make sure you subscribe anyway, because there's going to be so much transfer news. You don't want to miss it when we sign Sancho, and I sit everyone down either. So subscribe bottom right-hand corner and get your notifications on. That video, you want to be watching it live. There might be a few memes that go around, but you want to be watching that live. I've got a list of people I need to sit down. Anyway, Rashford is so good on the ball, says Coney. You weren't saying that a week ago. And Fred, McTom, Pogba and Van der Beek all in the same team. Why not Matic, Pogba, Bruno and Van der Beek? It can work. Donny is very versatile and has to be in the team for the weekend, says Robbie FM. Flex was right. When Pogba plays simple, it's efficient and elegant. He doesn't need to take any more risk as he did pre-Bruno. Keep it up, simple, and let Bruno, Rashi, Tony and Mason, Sancho take the risks. Amang says that was from Chino. Mark, I think we should acknowledge Ollie and the coaching staff decision making here. Their usage of Van der Beek as a false left winger is a genius tactical move. And it's not Ollie out, it's Glazers out. We don't get the signings the managers need, says Jake Peters. Exactly. Free kick here for Pogba. I think he will shoot. Yes! Get in! Pogba's back! What a free kick! What an inspired bit of substitution. And that will give you, Paul Pogba, a little bit of confidence. That's why we needed to get Paul Pogba on the pitch today. Get a smile on his face. Get him happy. Get him confident. And that's what we want to see from Paul Pogba. Absolutely superb free kick. Lovely. Keeper doesn't even move because he's done him over the wall. Maybe a little bit of a deflection. Let's have a look. Yeah, it does deflect in off the post. I mean, it's not as good as we think, actually, to be fair. It wasn't going in. It was going wide, and it was unstoppable, really. Hard, a lot of luck, but it's still confidence for Pogba. Lovely stuff for Manchester United. Look, we'll say we're wrong if we're wrong. It looked like it was a superb free kick. It got a little bit of luck, but we need that confidence. Lovely stuff. And now Jesse Lingard's going to come on. And Lingard comes on for Fred. And it's turned into a perfect evening for Manchester United here. I mean, look, it's not been amazingly pretty on the eyes, but the result outweighs the performance here. And it's certainly not been, some players have come out of this game with real confidence and their head held high. Some have come out of it, as we said, we've not learned a hell of a lot. Some of these players we can trust. Donny van der Beek looks like a really good signing. Some of these players just aren't good enough. And until you get some of these signings in and genuinely start backing the manager, then, we're not going to see that improvement. We've known about this for a long time. We need those backup players. Even Brandon Williams at left back, he's done a good job tonight, but he's a right-footed left back. Get Tellez in. Get 2 left backs on that side that you can interchange with Tellez and Shaw. Got to start doing those sort of things. Super chat here from Nolanza, and he says, Ollie might not be a tactician, but he's fixing years of top managers trying to make United fit then. Glazer's out before we ever say Ollie out. Says no. I think Ollie's done well tonight. You know, you'll be giving him your mark out of 10. Get over to the player ratings. The link's in the video description now. But I think Ollie's done well tonight. Mr. Restock says Mata's creativity and intelligence, unfortunate luxury nowadays in a game where pace, power, pressing, athleticism rule. He doesn't have those. Yeah, and I think that's why Mata can no longer be a first team player. Because, you know, he hasn't got the speed to get back and help out as a right-sided player or as a number 10. But against, you know, in the easier Champions League group games, in the FA Cup, in the Carabao Cup, then I think that's where Mata gets used these days. And I think that's where Mata can do a job. I mean, look, you know, it's credit to Mata as well, because I think Mata could go to Italy and play every week for someone like Roma. He's never going to play every week for United now, so he's got to be happy with that role as well. You know, there's no debate about that, is there? But Ollie will be over the moon with this, as am I, as I'm sure many of you are. 3-0 against Brighton reserves. He'll be happy. He's got a smile on his face. Clean sheet. Pogba comes on and scores. He genuinely looks happy, and that's good to see, because I don't think Ollie's looked like that for a while now. And, you know, I said this in the first half. If we can get a win tonight, that's 3 wins in a row. You know, have they all been particularly pretty? No, they haven't. But it's 3 wins in a row going into a massive game against Spurs. And, you know, confidence is very important for players. Pogba would have felt crap after that game at the weekend. And he's come on. He's got a goal. He's not scored in a while. He'll be feeling good now. So, yeah, I'm very happy with that. Now let's go and sign Sancho, which I think we will. McTominay again. I mean, I don't know about you. I just think McTominay's been dreadful tonight. I know he scored a goal, but as a centre defensive midfielder, they've got at our defence a lot again. It's been quite similar to the Palace game, like they are now, running at the back four. Skips past Scott McTominay again. He's a dreadful centre defensive midfielder. I know we're winning 3-0, but better teams will demolish us with McTominay as a centre defensive midfielder. They go past him like thin air every time. And just because he scored a free kick where he timed his run well, that doesn't mean he's had a good game. As a centre defensive midfielder, awful. Gets bypassed all the time. Got to stop doing that. He is not the backup for Matic. But very pleased with the result for Man United. We're definitely going to win. There's no doubt about that. Make sure you do your player ratings as well. We'll be going through them in the match reaction. So I'll be clicking my match reaction and it will give the aggregated ones for yours. You can do that through the link in the video description. Go to theunitedstand.com, mark every player out of 10, and then put a star next to your man of the match, submit your scores, and your scores will be aggregated with everyone else who votes, and then we'll get the most definitive and accurate Manchester United fan player ratings in the world, because thousands of you vote for it. None of this, I'm a journalist, this is what I think. It's done the way it should be done, with your opinion at the forefront of it. Everton winning 3-1 against West Ham, so they've got another Calvert-Lewin goal there as well. Mata into Donny van der Beek, into Green. It wasn't Greenwood, it was Delo, because Greenwood's not on the pitch. I just saw 20, and for some reason I thought Greenwood. He's number 11. Five minutes to go. Well, at least we've won. I think we had a little bit of worry when we first saw the team news, but at least we've won. I think there's a lot of confidence out there. I don't think Lindelof and Bailly have done too bad. I think Eric Bailly stood out for me. I'm still not quite convinced about. Well, I'm not convinced about Victor Lindelof, to be honest. I don't think I'll ever be convinced about Victor Lindelof. But I think for me, I would definitely start Eric Bailly against Spurs. Yeah. Here's Lingard down the right. Could be 4. Needed to whip that in quicker. He's going to go on his own. Oh, greedy, Jesse there. Didn't need to be greedy. I understand why. It's 3-0, but 1, you should have put an early cross into Rashford, and 2, when you cut back, you should have been laying that off to the player coming through next to you. Wasn't far off, but was greedy. Delo was offside for that shot anyway. And remember what I said. It's always nice when you get the tactical side of the things well. Remember what I said when, before we make the substitutions, there was like a 70% chance that Brighton were going to score and a 30% chance that we were going to score because they'd brought their better players on and they had the momentum of the game. And I said that's why we need to make the substitutions. And we made the substitutions, Pogba and Rashford, and suddenly we got into the game and that percentage chance of us scoring went back to 50-50 and probably 60-40 in our favour, and we score. And that's why those substitutions are really important, so that you make them at the right time. And we definitely did do that. So you've got to applaud Ollie for that, because I think he does need to learn to make those substitutions a little bit quicker. I think he's always been a player that doesn't do that. A few super chats coming in. Joshua Bowater says, attacking against McTominay is like driving through Spaghetti Junction, got routes forward everywhere. I don't rate him as a CDM. Bay and Donny both need to start on Sunday, says Anthony Jury. It's nice to have that from this game, isn't it? I won't be smiling when he goes to the tunnel and sees Romano's tweet, says Ali. Afshak. I'm gonna tweet that. Yeah, and a lot of people saying on Twitter, when Pogba's smiling, I'm smiling. And I think that's that's very true. I think a lot of us are like that with Pogba. I mean, I know there are people, I know Pogba's a divider, but I've always said, look, I'll be critical of Pogba, I definitely will, but there's no doubting the talent that he's got. And the main thing with Pogba is you definitely got to get the confidence right. You've definitely got to get him happy. And I think that we've definitely, you know, already in this little cameo, we're seeing a different Paul Pogba, and that, you know, Pogba's got an axe to grind with Jose Mourinho. Don't you worry about that. So that's going to be an important asset on Sunday, and we need Paul Pogba playing his best. Distant shot there, and it looks like Dean Henderson's going to get his not man of the match, clean sheet as well. I still don't quite think it's De Gea out the team time for Henderson, but he's certainly come through another important game for us. We've had 2,000 votes on the player ratings, so if you want a really accurate player ratings, make sure you get in and vote. Links in the video description, or you can do it through the unitedstand.com. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being average. Put a star next to your man of the match, and then at the bottom press submit your score. And then when I'm doing my match reaction in a minute and I do the player ratings, I do mine and we see yours and we see how close we are together. I think my man of the match might have changed, actually. I think my man of the match might have changed. But look, I ain't giving Scott McTominay a high score, and I ain't giving Agallo a high score, and I ain't giving Dan James a high score. I think that McTominay has caused us a lot of problems as a CDM today. And I think the fact that Bailly and Lindelof have done quite well has prevented them, you know, probably scoring the chances that maybe they would have created. I think we've been very leaky in the midfield again. But look, I'll talk about that afterwards. A lot of people saying Eric Bailly should be man of the match. A few people saying Mata. A few people saying Donny van der Beek. Let me just tell you what's happening tonight as well. I'll do my match reaction straight after this. And then straight after that, for an hour, you've got an hour show talking about Sancho or Dembele, latest transfer news. So lots and lots of stuff still to come on the channel. I know a lot of people do want to talk about the transfers. So please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. This game is over, so we can turn the clock off. Man of the match, Eric Bailly, all day long. Absolutely brilliant, says Rachel Quinn. We'll talk about that on the match reaction show. Manchester United through to the quarterfinals. I don't know when the draw is, by the way. If anyone knows when they're doing the draw, that would be interesting to know. But yeah, top line in the video description. We're going over to the match reaction now. Lots to talk about. I will give my opinion on the Sancho Dembele thing as well, but we'll talk about that in more in depth after the player ratings and the match reaction show. You can get your player ratings in on the unitedstand.com. If you do it quickly before I start that stream, then you'll be part of those votes for the aggregation. Beasting says he loves me. I don't want a Beasting though. Bay outstanding, says Michael. Tomorrow night is the draw for the Carabao Cup, says Ryan. Remember, we've got the Champions League draw tomorrow as well. So lots and lots going on. Sancho will be signing soon. I'll talk about that in a minute. Link in the video description for match reaction. Get onto that. And I'll see you there in about a minute or two. Make sure you get on unitedstand.com and do your player ratings as well. Bay and Lindelof make a good partnership. Delo did well too, says Vincent. I thought Delo was crap, but we will talk about that. We'll do the player ratings. I'll speak to you in a minute on the match reaction.